place to be. You know, you're never really sure what these dudes will say. Hosted by Zach Amico and Louis J. Gomez for Prez, cause he talks that real shit. When it comes to comedy, man, he's the Joan Jett. Zach holding it down, he's known as a sniper. Got you laughing so hard you might need a diaper. Mondays at noon and every Wednesday too. You got these two coming through to entertain you. Okay, talking to guests and the topics are jamming. And Louis loves giving shit to his producer Shannon. The superstar worldwide, yeah, Amico slamming. And you never know what the PR rattlesnake is planning. So here we go, yeah, you know we're ready to rock. Cause the Real Ass Podcast is about to drop. Woo!
All right, here we go. Real Ass Podcast. What's up, motherfuckers? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, son. Back at ya, Nookas. I'm the Puerto Rican rattlesnake, Louis J. Gomez. Zach Amico out. I did talk to Zach last night. He will be back on both shows starting next week. Both shows, Zach is back. Very excited, guys. In his absence, as usual, Tim Dillon's here.
It's great to be here.
What's up,
my
Nooka?
last week.
No, you're going to come in a lot, though. You're going to still come back a lot.
No, of course. Thank you.
I love you guys on the show. And also, Nick Mullen's here.
Hello.
The one and only.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
love
there's
you.
probably plenty of them.
No.
Seems like, well, there's
Oh,
only
name-wise?
Yeah, there's only like 4 Irish surnames.
Do you think that...
So, I mean, really, it is. It's like Doherty, Donnelly, Mullen, and McGordley, and then Dillon, I guess.
Well, Dylan's like an Irish weird French hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like a...
You don't know what Dylan's going to be. I didn't know that Mullen was officially like an Irish name,
Oh, no,
too.
it's Irish
Mullen
as hell.
is an Irish name.
Yeah.
I feel like Mullen
like-
could be anything. I feel like there's probably a lot of different...
No,
it's just...
Croatian Mullins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just like the Dutch. Everything's
Right.
Dutch.
It's Chinese, actually.
Yes.
It's actually Murren. I took Chinese. I took like
No.
Yeah.
What can you say something?
我不知道中文.
See, you could have just made that up, and I would have no idea.
It sounds like you're mocking Chinese.
It does. That's why I'm so
Bing,
good.
bing,
That's why I'm
bing.
so good at doing fake Chinese.
Right.
I can do fake Mandarin real easily.
You can do the dialects.
Yeah. 冰岛文我有呀。
Bing, ding, ding, boing.
Yeah,
Hein, xin, ding, ding, babul.
Nigga, won't you?
You say nigga, won't
Yeah,
you?
they say nigga all the time. In
That's the
Mandarin,
secret to
in
doing-
Mandarin,
Is that? Did it really?
Yeah, they really.
That's
do.
the secret.
In Mandarin, nigga just means like it's just a filler. So,
That's kind of my philosophy on podcasting.
Yeah.
yeah. You know,
Yeah, I don't say. I'm not saying the N word a bunch. I'm just saying the Mandarin version of
No, if you hang out around Chinese people, they just go nigga. They like do it all
Wow.
the time. Yeah.
Really?
Do black people ever hear that and get angry?
Well, that's why they're not allowed in China.
Right.
It's also they
Makes
hear
sense.
it. They hear it and they turn around. They're like, "Which one of you said that?
Yeah.
I can't tell you apart."
Right.
That was actually the story before that Wu-Tang album where they got into the fight with the Chinese guy.
Yeah.
Remember where they did sketches? Do they still do sketches on albums?
I hope not.
Pull up that sketch. You remember that sketch? I believe it was Wu-Tang Clan, and they went into a Chinese restaurant, and it was just a racist sketch. It was great.
Right.
Well, the reason I mentioned the Chinese thing is I took Chinese, and they give you, you take like French in school. They're like, and your name is Pierre for this semester. They give you like a French name
Don't
or
think
whatever.
the French version of your name. Though.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
So they did that in Chinese, in the Chinese class. And first of all, if you take a Chinese class, it's just going to be all Chinese kids. So 90% of the people in there were just already Chinese. They already spoke Chinese. They just wanted, the easy A's. They already had a Chinese name. But the teacher gives me my Chinese name, and it's just Nang Moren.
Nang Moren?
It's just a fucking like
crazy.
it's a Chinese person trying to say my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they give me
Nang
like
Moren.
like a deaf Chinese.
Yours would have been
Nang.
Tim Dira.
Ting Di wrong. It would be something like that.
Faga. Four glass.
Yeah.
Big Faga.
Big fat faga.
It's like Godzilla of faggots.
Godzilla fag.
Eating dicks everywhere.
I'm like, are
very
you calling me
scary.
Godzilla faggot? They're like, no.
No, it's your name.
Your name.
Yeah, that'd be your name if you lived in China.
Yeah, my
The black kid. Oh, he's nigga. That's his name. That's what we call him for sure.
Shit. So why would you? It was in college or in high school? You took
was in
Chinese?
high school,
That's
yeah.
crazy. They didn't even offer that at my high school. My high school they offered French, Spanish, and Italian.
Yeah. No, they always had like I think every different school had its own like weird one. Like so, like, they would have French, Spanish,
And I went to a very big high school, like a very like
they would have French, Spanish, and then like an alternative one that would be like you could learn French, Spanish. In some schools it was Russian. Some schools it was like Japanese. It would just offer like a third one.
Remember,
but
it was
Or German that you know, like that no one would ever use.
I had already like failed out of French, so it was like, well, that's the end of French.
There was always one
this is
language
how bad I
nobody
did
would
in
ever
French.
use.
Because I took French. I was the only Hispanic kid in the history of the language to take French in high school. Okay, and I failed out. There was no way I was going to pass. I was like, it's literally impossible. I cannot get past, je m'appelle Louis et toi. That's it. That's as far as my mind could fucking.
Et tu?
Et tu?
Yeah.
Voila. Literally that. Dude, I took 2 years of French, maybe 3. 8th, 9th, and 10th. 10th grade, halfway through the semester, I was like, I'm done. I can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
So they made me take like 6 art courses.
Yeah.
So I took, and I'm not good at art. I'm about as good as art as I am at French. So but they can't really fail you for not being a talented artist.
Yeah.
You just have to do the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So that was all my time. I had to give up
Also,
my lunch.
art's subjective, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's actually a great point.
who's to say whether it's good or bad?
My teacher, when they were giving me
Yeah.
C's and D's.
Yeah.
I wish I was smart enough to understand what subjectivity
You were just
was
writing the
in
word
10th grade.
nigga in like box letters. They were like, you got to do something else.
I was drawing the cube and then
Yeah.
drawing the word nigga in the cube. I was really good at like those things. I could do a cube. I could do the Superman S type thing.
Yeah.
Remember this one?
Everyone did the S. thing.
Everybody did the S.
It was 6 lines.
Yeah.
Right? Connect that bitch. Connect that bitch. Hold on. I haven't done this in fucking years, doggy. Look at that.
There it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like an
You did
8.
it.
Look at that shit, dude.
People would carve that into their marble notebook because you could kind of like.
Wait, hold on. He did it wrong.
What do you mean? What did I do?
Horrible.
That's pretty good.
Like a
It's
bad
backwards.
version.
I think that's a
Back-
pretty
that's not
good.
an S.
Yeah, it's
What
not
is
good.
Wait, how about this? Just draw a regular S.
Yeah, right.
See if you can manage that first.
Write your name on a piece of paper.
I actually did have a little dyslexia.
I would love, and I would not be surprised if Lewis was illiterate. Like if Lewis had gotten this far in life, like he owns a company, he's pretty like has multiple podcasts, he tours around the country doing comedy. But if somebody told me, Lewis can't read or write,
Right.
I'd be like, no, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
The Floyd Mayweather
Yeah.
of comedy.
yeah.
Dude,
He's like
did-
Jay-Z, he just talks.
When I draw my name, I actually draw.
Well, number one, you shouldn't draw your name. That's the first problem. You write your name. You don't draw your name. So what your mom says, you're like, go draw your name. What are you doing in the bathroom? Just draw your name.
I have to draw
That's
pictures
why
in order
you
to get
failed
my
art
name.
is because you would just turn in your name over and over again. So Lewis, this is not a drawing.
Yeah.
We can't get you to understand the difference between drawing and writing.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, no, we understand art is subjective, but it's literally not art. It's
Yeah.
basic
He's
communication
just
skills.
turning in like bubble letters. And they're like, no, we get it. We get you can do it different ways.
Dude, listen to me, okay? When I write my name, that's even hard to
On
say.
Lewis's mother's refrigerator, it was just his name, a bunch of different pictures of his name.
Listen to me. I would write my name, and I guess I would draw my I's and S's the wrong way. You're supposed to draw them from
Makes
the
sense.
top down, right?
Yeah,
and
but nobody does that. You die.
I draw them, but look, it's literally from the top. Look, top up, and so see how the bottom of mine is small, and it's got a big fat head.
Yeah,
That's my fucking S.
right.
So there's like my sister would make fun of me.
Can you
for,
do cursive? Can you like do penmanship at all?
I haven't.
Like if
written-
you had to write your name in script
I
right
can,
now.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I can do it, but I haven't done it
Sure.
in years.
I haven't done it either.
I feel like if you can't do cursive, you shouldn't have to pay taxes. I don't know
I agree.
what that skill is for.
But how are kids even learning cursive today?
No, there's no fucking reason
No.
to.
I
There's
don't-
no reason to even learn how to write on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, who's
It just
using?
encourages more waste.
Yeah, I mean, is there any upside to having paper? Like, is there anything except for like being wasteful?
No.
Like, there's this movement to like write more books, and I'm going like, guys, we don't really need to have books in the library.
I keep all my like business shit on paper still, just because it's like if I get audited, I can just throw them the binder and say you.
I thought you
figure
were going
it
to say
out.
you could shred the paper.
Yeah, yeah.
As they're knocking on your door,
Right,
just
you can destroy all of it.
Of
and
course.
avoid prosecution. But I don't know. I haven't been audited. I don't know what the process is. I just assume it'd be easier to go into the office with a binder rather
Receipts,
than a bunch
yeah.
of fucking.
No, I mean I do everything on a card, so then
You have
is just
statements. I think
easy.
I have statements
You know
too.
what? I say that,
but I print
don't
out,
actually do everything on a card. I say that I do everything on a card, and there's all the shit that I don't do. on the
Yeah,
same
no, I
card.
print out all my statements and then I go through and categorize the expenses.
Yeah, but you're a fucking psycho. People
I'm not
say
a
this
psycho.
about.
I'm a businessman. I mean, I have a business to run.
No, you're not a businessman.
I am a businessman.
You're a businessman.
I'm a multi-million-dollar businessman.
Yeah, you listen to me. You are. Here's why Nick's great. Okay, people go
Thanks.
like, "Oh, dude, Cumtown, fucking, it's so successful. They crush it on Patreon." And they don't get like how like you really do handle all of that. Like you are really into the business side of it as well. You keep track of everything.
I mean, I'm really into the business side of it in the same way that like a middle-aged black man is into the business side of being
Printing
an entrepreneur,
t-shirts.
which is, like I have an LLC that's just in case I get sued.
Yeah.
And, I fucking keep track of expenses and but it's like once a month I go through the books and then that's all.
But
I
that's
have to
more
do.
than most people do.
Yeah, well, I've
Most
I've
people
been,
that want to run a
I've been-
podcast that
Well,
are
it's just
comedians
a, it's
don't
just
do
a
that.
juxtaposition between that and then like you go on Instagram and then Stavros is just floating on a raft.
Yeah,
in the Aegean Sea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's like,
Stav's thing is like I've been freelancing and doing comedy for years, so I know how hard you can get fucked on taxes if you're
not careful.
If you're not paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, of course.
I had a year where I made like I don't know. $22,000 on just 1099s doing comedy writing and shit.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of the year and you're like, if you've never paid, self-employment tax before and you like in your head, you're like, okay, well, when I worked at McDonald's, I got $7 an hour.
Right.
And so my paycheck would be $300 every week and they'd take like $70. So if I'm making all my own money, that means I owe like $300 at the end of the year, and then you do the fucking math on it. And it's like,
You owe
oh yeah,
five
you owe
Gs.
$12,000,
Yeah.
and the government
Is
takes.
that how much you owed on 22? No. Way less.
If you
like
made
4.
zero deductions on $22,000,
you know, 7.
yeah, you'd
It's something
at least 8 or
If your
9.
New York City address,
Yep.
forget it because that's what the smart thing to do.
Did you ever do like TurboTax? I did it when you're on a website, and I didn't do it. I just went through like the deductions.
Yeah.
And you got almost like nothing back. And then I went to some fucking shady bitch in the Bronx.
Oh, then you get everything.
And
Yeah.
she's like she's like a ninja.
Oh,
And she's
yeah.
here's the thing. There's things like I take a lot of taxis.
Yeah.
And we added it up, and I was like, this is how much
Can
I
I write off Uber?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Just what you should do
Wow.
though is keep a log of because you can actually put the expense code in Uber. If you take a Lyft, say I'm coming back from a show or I'm going to a show or even I'm going to an open mic because
Dude, I'm never taking a Lyft for personal reasons ever. Period.
yeah,
Never.
me either.
Me either.
Never.
Me either. But
I don't
mean,
do anything I don't do personal shit.
for
I
the
just work.
for the record though. I mean, I if I'm doing something, like I'll just take the train. If I have to be somewhere, it's for business, and so I'll take the Lyft. and
Yeah.
I'll document it. But you don't even really have to document it. It's just like in case you really do get audited at some point, you can go say like, no, all of these are for business.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
my accountant told me she was like you're spending too much money on cabs. If I put this much, you're going to get audited because it looks like we're doing something weird. Even though she was like trust me, it's better to lose a little bit of money and
to
just
get audited.
than to get audited and
Yeah.
have to deal with a bunch of bullshit. So it's pretty fucking crazy the way it all works. It's like you need to be pretty fucking savvy. Doing all that shit, I don't even know. My accountant could literally be fucking me in the ass. And I would have no idea.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the accountant has to cover their ass because if you're like a CPA and you get caught fudging numbers or whatever, like you go to jail, like
Yeah.
they'll fucking like prosecute
As they fucking
you.
should.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the
If my
IRS's
accountant lost $100 from me and fucked up and fudged the numbers and lost $100, I would want her to go to jail for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
Lock her up and throw away the fucking key. This Dominican whore needs to learn a lesson.
knock on wood, I've never been fucking audited, but
This is for Micah.
I did. No, this is MDF underneath some laminate.
Whoa, I should not have tried to challenge Nick to a fucking wood off.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but this is for Micah.
Yeah, well, the Formica is the laminate on
So
top,
technically,
but
you're not really
underneath,
knocking on wood. You're knocking on the
no,
Formica.
underneath there is MDF.
But when you say knocking on wood, though, if you're knocking on Formica, your hand's not touching wood.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
How's it touching wood?
Formica is just the top layer of the thing that you're touching.
But Formica's laid down. It's almost like plastic, no?
Yeah, it's a laminate.
I want you to
It's
write your
this-
name right now
Yeah.
on a piece of paper for the rest of the show. I just want you to work on. I want you to work on your name.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough to get. I mean, you get cash from comedy clubs. I mean, you got to declare that. Come on.
The thing is, I'm
let me live.
I'm worried about it, but I've already paid in. I've paid probably $50,000 in taxes this year already.
Oh, you just pay as it goes every quarter. You do it.
Oh, I make quarterly payments.
Ooh, that's so smart.
I make quarterly
instead of every
payments.
3 years like I'm doing.
No,
That's what I do. I do a 3 to 4 year. I do a quarter, but years.
Yeah, every quarter of decade.
Yeah.
I do every quarter decade.
I get back in with the IRS. I'm like, all right, so last year was rough. This year was good.
If they said every 3 years you got to come in and just blow a dude and just have it wiped away, I swear to God I would do it. Tim, we know what you would do.
Absolutely.
But I'm not even lying about that. If they said, hey, dude, just tax free. This is how fucking crazy it is. We work for our money. If they said you can go, we will let you live tax free. He's gonna blow a dude every 3 years.
I had a friend that had a situation. I forget who it was, but they were talking about like they was facing something with their like second DUI, and they were like, you have to do like a year of community service and probation or whatever. And he was like, I was like, can I just go to jail for a month? And they were like, yeah, okay. And they just like, yeah, and he just went to jail.
They let him
instead.
go to jail for a month.
Oh,
instead?
yeah.
They just let him. They're like, yeah, that's much worse. Yeah, we'll just have you go to jail.
Yeah.
A year of community service. Well, a year.
A year of bullshit, dude. Checking in with like a fucking, supervised release person or whatever, and
drug tests.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah. And then also after you go to jail for a year, you get out after a month. Like it is an experience. Like,
yeah, but you're rolling the rape dice there.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I don't think rape is as bad as they say it is.
It's probably worse in
I love
jail.
that Lewis never comes down on the side of the victims are being raped, you know? Like Lewis would be in Saudi Arabia, the king would be like, there is no problem here. Lewis would be like, no, I don't think so either. I didn't see anyone get raped in the town square. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
That 10-year-old bride wants to be there, obviously. She's smiling and dancing.
Yeah.
Whose head is that?
Right.
What woman was that head from? Like, don't worry about it. She was not a real person anyways. She became dishonored.
You know how these victims are with their blogs and their Twitter. Yes, I do. I get it.
Listen to me. I'm saying prison rape, I feel like it's another thing that's really blown out of proportion.
I'm talking about jail rape, not prison rape. Jail rape.
Jail rape's not even a thing.
Jail rape is
prison
totally
rape is a thing, but I think, what do they say? Like, what did it say? I know that, what do they say? 1 out of 6 women have been raped?
Yeah.
How many, what's the numbers in prison, Shannon?
Well, 1 out of 6 women have been in prison.
Is that true?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What if that
so
was,
the worst women, hold on.
True.
So, Nick, what you're saying is that the worst women in the world are getting raped and they deserve it.
Sure. Well, they went to prison.
The
for
only
being raped.
women that are...
It's a vicious circle.
Rape victims are
Can
all...
we get a shirt that says "The only rape is prison rape" and put it in the gas digital store?
Well, what I want to do is, I've been seeing all these, because all these DACA protests going on, all these people that like post on Instagram, they got signs that say, how about we deport the racists, right? That's like the big... So I just want to do one that says, deport the racists, especially if they're here illegally. Well, there's one thing I don't like is Mexican racists.
This is the best, because like I don't agree with the DACA thing. I'm like, they're contributing to society, but it is amazing how like you can never win, because somebody goes on Twitter and goes, we're all immigrants, and then totally again fuck Trump, let them stay. That's the sentiment, right?
Sure.
Somebody goes, we're all immigrants, and then the person goes back to her and goes, well, actually, some of us are colonizers, and we need to own that. And I'm like, oh well, we can't.
What the fuck does that mean? We need to own that. We need to go around
somebody who came to a
Columbus.
somebody like that,
privately feeling
the
bad
original
about
real ass
something.
dude of the week, Shannon.
Yes.
I feel like
Christopher Columbus, original real ass dude of the week.
all these people that have this necessary self.
He's got a bad attitude. One might feel he's real, he's a real ass dude.
Nick, I like to kill the flow with weird musical drops.
That's all right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, wait, no, that's not... Nobody's owning being a colonizer.
Well, they're saying
there's
you gotta
plenty of people.
decolonize.
There's all these white people that like to go around feeling bad about being white.
Right.
Of course. I had a woman the other day in the crowd. I asked just a piece
all
of
these
crowd.
people just need to have like a skin tag on their face.
Or do something
and then
good.
they can
like,
just feel bad about that
Yeah.
and shut the fuck up.
or go
and stop
mentor a
bothering
kid,
them.
or like volunteer at a soup kitchen, or do something good, which none of these people do.
Of course not.
Like, if you were to suggest that, they would look at you like you were insane. If you're
Yeah.
like, yo, go to an after-school program and like help a minority kid, they'd be like, what?
I asked the chick in the crowd the other night, just like in a moment of crowd work. I was like a white chick. I was like, who's the worst race to her? And she goes, white people.
Yeah.
And I was like, you make me sick.
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, have you ever hung out with
the
an
example of
old
Lewis's-
Asian person?
Yeah.
Old Asian people are maybe the worst people
They
in the
do
world.
nothing but say the N-word and spit.
Yeah, they're awful.
I can tell you that for a fact. It's their culture.
Yeah.
I love your fun crowd work. You know, what's the worst? All right, everyone, welcome to the show. What is the worst race?
Yeah, you're not worried.
All these people went to a comedy show. They're like, I hope this is just light. You know, I want to be taken out of everything.
You ever been raped? What about in prison?
Who's the worst race to get raped from?
Shanna, what is the number of people raped in prison?
Watch me draw. That ends the comedy portion of my act. Now to begin the drawing segment.
Yeah, I'm gonna write the word
What's your
rape.
name? I'm gonna draw it.
Listen to me. What is the number of people in prison that are raped? The numbers, because they say 1 in 6 women.
Okay, this is I have the percentage. So it's from 2011 to 2012.
God, Shannon could just figure out the ratio. She had so much time.
I can't do numbers.
She had so much time to
She
figure
doesn't
out
do
the
numbers.
ratio.
That's what I
Don't
said as a
do
little
numbers.
kid. I don't do fractions.
Yeah.
My math teacher was like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't do numbers. Okay, but this kind of contradicts what you guys were saying. So it says an estimated 4% of state and federal inmates are raped, and 3.2%.
Wait, what percent? Hold on, go back.
4%.
Oh, it's nothing.
And 3.2% of jail inmates have reported incidents of sexual victimization.
But you know what? Reporting. Here's the thing. The problem is black people. That's if they admit they're raped. That's them admitting they're gay.
Yeah.
Like that's like they have to kill themselves in the black community.
Which makes them the worst race. I hope you explain that to that woman. White people are worst race. No, it's black people. Let me explain why.
Yeah.
Because in prison they tattle when they've been raped.
Yeah. And then he goes like this. Are you ready for the show? Is everybody ready for the show now?
We have to cancel.
Have
the
you guys all
Operation
paid your checks?
Smile
Are we good to
charity
move on?
event.
Yeah.
The comedian has ruined the Hurricane Harvey fundraiser.
Just imagine that Yelp review, you know? What we thought would be a fun night out turned into a race rape-a-thon with someone who called himself a Puerto Rican rattlesnake. We quickly learned he was a white supremacist in disguise.
Oh shit! If we were allowed to name podcasts with the word rape in them anymore, this one would be called Race Rape-a-thon.
Yes.
We're not doing it though. We lost a sponsor.
Oh, because of rape dicks?
We lost a sponsor for rape dicks.
Hey, I got to be honest. Worth it, you know?
Completely worth it.
What a great,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, we didn't lose a sponsor. A sponsor didn't come on that was about to come on.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, you know, you named your last episode Rape Dicks. That's a little weird when you want
Can I
to
ask
sponsor our meat box.
Can I ask what type of product?
It was a meat box.
A meat box?
Just all this meat that came in a box.
Right.
Which is the rapiest of the products to
and
sponsor.
we all know if feminists love one thing,
It's meat in
it's
their
a
box.
box of meat delivered to their home. So, good move. Good move. Not our fans. It's definitely the people watching the Samantha Bee show
Yeah.
want a case of steaks.
Shannon, let's get some plugs out of the way. There we go. Little Marilyn Manson for you. This is when Manson was actually cool. Manson had a cool phase right up until, right after
Can I
Antichrist
interject?
Superstar.
No, he didn't.
Hey, the beautiful people.
This album, this song, put your headphones on. This is a great song, Nick. This is an incredible song. It was cool, man. There was a couple years where Manson, he had a unique thing. There was nobody else like Marilyn Manson.
No, I loved him, and I saw him in a hotel. I was touring. I was in a play, and we toured around the country, and we checked into a hotel, and he was there with like Twiggy Ramirez and Zim Zum, like his whole.
Oh, you were
band.
in. Tim was in
I was
Marilyn
in.
Manson.
Berkowitz, that whole.
Yeah, nobody knows the names of the band
those guys
members
were
unless
all
you
there.
were a fan at one
Oh,
point.
dude, I was a huge fan, and then I was in a fucking elevator with him, and like, they're just pale dudes in suits with
Yeah.
the fucking makeup, you know.
Yeah.
But supposedly they trashed their rooms and everything.
Of course, we have to.
You
I
gotta.
mean, look, if I ever get really rich, I'm going to trash every hotel room because I want to have the reputation. I don't even need to do. I won't even stay there. I'll just trash the room and stay in a nice
Yeah.
room that's not trash.
Yeah, I
don't
trash
report
every
it.
hotel room.
Yeah.
Dude, when we were in Detroit, I fucked up that hotel room.
What'd you do to the room?
It was already fucked up, but yeah, threw the pillows everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking did a blood
Fucking mess.
ritual?
Yeah, we did blow all night, and then I
Yeah.
had that fucking
was a good time.
Operation Convoy all the way back to New York.
It's so funny.
Louis just
2
writes
hours
his
of sleep.
name on the wall. It's just fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Art.
repainting.
Somebody was
Art.
drawing in here.
Just repainting every hotel room. It's a Louis again.
Yeah.
We found out. Stop. We were doing an episode. It got deleted, but I was talking about. We brought that up. We were talking about hotel rooms and fucking them up. But I was saying all this stuff in jest about how I like to just smash the light bulbs, just break them, break one of them.
Right.
Why not? Which is not true. I don't fucking do that.
You're having fun.
And then Stav, in earnest, says like, like how you like get a good, you just really wipe your ass with the towels, and then he revealed that he doesn't use toilet paper in hotel rooms. He wipes the shit out of his ass with one of the towels.
I kind of get it.
And then leaves the towel on the
I
floor.
don't-
Of course you get it. I'm not
Luxury.
speaking to you.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
speaking to the handful of rational people that listen to the podcast that know that that's abhorrent behavior.
Listen to me. It's not good behavior. I don't
Lewis
do
is
that.
like,
A woman, probably very similar to your own mother, has to go into that room
When
and pick up that shitty towel.
Yeah.
Lewis's mother was not showing up to work. Number one.
Yeah.
So
My
neither
mother was
my
falling
mother.
asleep with
Neither was
cigarettes
my
in her
mother.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
well,
you
then a
think she was
woman,
fucking-
a woman that you care
Yeah, you
about.
want to know a fucking piece of garbage trash? Just go and look at any a woman who has like 100 cigarette burns in
Yeah,
her bed
yeah,
because she's falling asleep on methadone every night.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nearly lighting her bed on fire.
Yeah.
My mom's methadone. She it was like this little orange liquid. And she would just drink it. And she told me, she was like, oh, it's my back medication.
Yeah.
It makes my back feel good, and it tastes like orange juice, she told me. And I mean, there was probably 40 times where I almost tasted her methadone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 40 times where I was like, dude, it just looks good. It looked like creamsicle. It looked
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
And I love creamsicle. That's not a flavor that everybody loves.
No, it's a great flavor.
But you do like I used to work at KFC, and my sister used to work right across the street at the Carvel.
Yeah.
And I used to come over with a half a cup of orange soda, and I used to have to just fucking put some soft serve ice cream in it.
Yeah,
Some vanilla.
Dude, that's a thing most people don't know about. My favorite move at Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
You go to the soft serve machine, and then you go to the soda machine. You make yourself root beer float.
Incredible, yeah.
Nobody
Well, I just did it with the
nobody
orange.
thinks to do that at Chinese buffet, but
Chinese buffet is fucking disgusting.
it is disgusting.
I mean,
yeah.
We used to go to one called Walk and Roll.
Yeah. Oh, I went to Walk and Roll.
Up in Rockland?
No, there's a bunch of them. There's one in Long Island. What do you think? Walk and Roll is a concept? They retired after one? No. When you come up with a name like Walk and Roll, you're going at least tri-state area.
Right.
At
First
least.
of all, every fucking Asian came
They
to
had
be
a
like, I
walk.
have the
They have a walk
perfect
and roll at the Six Flags in Jersey.
Nigga, I have the perfect idea. We call it Walk and Roll.
It's called Niga Pizza. You can't call the business that. I'm sorry, Mr. Chang, but why? Why not?
Shit. Oh, man. All right, we don't doing any plugs. Nick, what do you got to plug, my friend?
Just Cumtown.
Check out Cumtown. Great show. You guys are fucking awesome. Killing it. Timmy D.
My funeral will be at the O'Shea Funeral Home in Levittown next week, Thursday at 3 and 7. No, it's DC Improv, September 15th, 16th. The Little Room, the Lounge. Don't go to the big room. You will see some more, who's great. But that's not me.
No.
So if you go to the big room, you see some more. If you go to the Little Room, you see me.
Listen, if you go to see Tim's show, he'll do it in blackface and do some more Zach.
I'm doing a lot of... Me and Samore, there's a pretty big overlap anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I get some of the
They call that a
overflow.
fupa.
Yeah. I just want to, like... I like her. I want to get a photo with her.
We're
I
going to
dig
pull
her.
up some more for after
I
these
think
plugs,
she's great.
Shannon. I would love to see some more.
I think she's great. You don't think she's funny?
I don't know if I'd even know a single
She's like,
some more.
you know you 100% nigga when you ain't allergic to shit.
And all these Chinese people are like,
the
yeah!
Dude, it's
Her
hilarious.
entire Chinese audience. yeah, okay, yeah,
Like,
good
she goes like
stuff.
this. She's like, I be putting castor oil on my shit. It's hilarious, but it's very funny. She's genuinely very funny.
Samora only has Chinese fans. She's the biggest Chinese act in the
She's
world.
just a huge act
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, selling at arenas.
Hey, Sport,
Yeah,
come
I
on,
was
buddy.
I was walking through Chinatown one night, and they had like, I forget who I was walking with, but we walked past some place, and there was the sound of someone speaking in Chinese through a microphone into like a room, and I don't know if they were playing bingo or whatever it was, but we were like, yeah, it's Chinatown's biggest comedy club, and we were laughing about a Chinese Louis C.K. that's just like, Bo Jing Jiao Gong Wao Jing Bao Jing Bao Gong 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 Wao Go Wao
Jacob.
With the same mannerisms, but in Chinese.
Yeah,
And
except
his name is Louis. Okay, number one best. Good job.
and instead of instead of pulling his dick out and masturbating in front of girls, he brutally beats him in the face.
We were doing Chinese versions of comedians, and I think the best one of that was their big break for Chinese comedians is when they get invited on the biggest radio show in China, which is Slopey and Slanthony.
Slopey and Slanthony.
That's fucking great.
That might
Slopey and Slanthony.
That might be the best pun I've ever come
That's
up with.
incredible.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, check me out. Check this out. This is a big fucking deal, this show. Los Angeles. I'm back at the end of the month. LA, bitch. I'm fucking back. All of the Legion of Skanks will be there.
Oh, boy.
Check this out. Taking over the Comedy Store on the 28th of September. 8 p.m. stand-up comedy show, Legion of Skanks and Friends in the main room. Huge fucking room, okay? And then a live podcast, super exclusive, up in the belly room right afterwards. If you're in the L.A. area, if you're within a 3-hour fucking radius and you're not there, you're an asshole. We're trying to impress the Comedy Store. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make this very clear. I'm trying to do Skankfest at the Comedy Store next year. It's the perfect venue for it. It's designed for Skankfest, okay? So I want to do it there, and I want to fucking impress them. So come out, tell your friends. I'm telling you right now, the lineup we have already, the people that are confirmed are incredible. We can't announce them yet. Tickets will be on sale, I believe, sometime today or tomorrow. Trust me, come to this fucking show. Me, Big J, and Dave, we rarely go out on the road together. We've never been on the West Coast together. So make sure you check that out. Also, go check out my other podcasts. Legion of Skanks. Also, Believe You Me podcast with myself and UFC champion Michael Bisping. And also, go give us a 5-star review, ranking, all that shit on iTunes. Every month we give away a
What
t-shirt.
happens on that podcast? You just talk about fighting?
Yeah, talk about fighting.
I don't understand how fighting podcasts work. I guess it's because I'm so ignorant to the topic. But
You
it's,
really are a nigga when it comes to
yeah.
fighting, you know?
In the sense that I'm extremely Chinese.
Nick Mullen, fight
secretly
nigga.
good
Fight
at
nigga.
it. You know, yeah, it's like a 3-hour podcast, and you're like, well,
Do you
he
not
punched,
know- you
he
know
punched
nothing?
him, and then the other guy punched him, and then.
Well, there's a whole world around it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like there's a little drama, and the guys talk shit about each other, and there's big stories.
Okay.
I mean, Conor McGregor, we could have literally talked about Conor McGregor everyone did every day for 2 hours straight for 3 months.
Yeah.
you
You
know,
know,
talking about that
I-
Conor McGregor Mayweather fight. You know,
I did the pay-per-view, and I had people over at my apartment, and it was like fun, but I was also doing blow the whole night, so it was like, yeah, I'm just enjoying cocaine. I don't
yeah,
know.
of course. Well, anything you could do anything.
Right, yeah.
He's like, dude, I'm reading
do
the dictionary
Do
on
a fucking
blow.
Rubik's
Yeah.
Cube. Play dominoes by yourself.
Yeah.
Just watching Paula Poundstone special.
Yeah.
Act out of your face. You're like, this is great.
Dude, we should do
This
some
is
blow.
amazing.
We should
Yeah.
do some
I
blow.
don't care what she did
I
with
want to
kids.
do a line off her shoulder pad.
Let's do blow and watch some more. Do you
Yeah.
have any blow,
Dude,
Nick?
Yeah,
some
no, I
more
don't.
is
Pussy.
legitimately. I think she's
We're
more
gonna
funny.
pull it up in a minute.
pussy.
Real
People
quick,
just
I gotta
offer
do
it to
this.
you all
Listen,
the time.
every month we give away a free T-shirt to one reviewer on iTunes. You don't have to leave us a 5-star review. It could be any review, but 5-star helps.
Lewis, did you shave your dog?
I'm going to tell you about it in a second, Nikki. Here we go. Your winner of this month's T-shirt, Schmoogs 22. Schmoogs 22. Shannon, hit up Shannon. How can they contact you? The best way.
The best way is just tweet me directly at I am Shannon Lee.
Or if Schmoogs is in jail because of a domestic, accept the award on behalf of Schmoogs.
Yeah.
That would be good too.
22 is his Pop Warner football
I am
number.
son of Schmoogs.
Yeah.
My father is unable to collect
So yeah,
his
I
t-shirt.
did. My dog is here. Sport, come here, buddy. We'll get Sport on mic for a second. Come on, pal.
What's cool about this dog is it's kind of cute, but it's not that cute.
Right, especially after you shaved him.
Yeah.
He looks like you've prepared him for the electric chair.
Like he comes over to you and you want
just fucking they take a bit of your leg hair off.
Yeah.
So that the fucking electrode makes
There he is.
kills
Hi,
you and
Sport.
doesn't just burn
So
your
this
skin.
is the famous Sport. A lot of people know this dog. I've had him literally for 12 years.
Yeah, this is like Wishbone if Wishbone was illiterate.
Yeah.
It's like a show for kids that don't want to learn how to read. They have this dog.
You're so cute. So listen, I've had this dog since he was 8 weeks old.
Right.
Okay, and now he lives with my son and his mother because I've abandoned everybody in my life.
Yeah. And the dog fighting. Keep
What's
going.
the story, Wishbone? What happened to your family?
They
Why
use
is your
Jack
mom
Russell Terrier-
asleep?
They use Jack Russell Terriers more than like any other dog in those movies because they're some of the smartest dogs in the world.
Yeah.
You know
this
what the
fucking-
smartest dog is?
What?
Border Collie.
Border Collie.
Yep.
Could it put? What type of dog is that? I don't even know what type of dog
It's
that
a
is.
border collie.
What does it look like? Fuckface.
It's furry. It's like, it's,
It's got a
They're
snout,
like sheepdogs. They're like black and white.
long ears, a tail.
Kind of furry. Like me. Like
There
a
we go.
medium
That dog?
Yeah.
That's the smartest fucking dog?
Those are the smartest
That dog
dogs.
stinks. My dog would fuck that dog up and then fuck his bitch in front of him.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Well, then
things
your
say-
dog's a rapist and not intelligent. I love that Lewis tries to win that battle by saying his dog would do something like violent. Oh, yeah, that dog's smart? My dog will kill him and rape him. It's like, oh, like the smart people do.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Sure.
Like
The
that
other thing-
episode of Frasier where Niles and Frasier rape and murder the dad.
Yeah. They rape and murder some prostitute and then talk about economically why it made sense.
Yeah.
Well, they did that in The Mask.
She didn't appreciate Macbeth, so they rape and murder her
The dog
in the
in-
apartment.
Yeah.
And Daphne cleans
Yeah,
it up.
right. She didn't believe in the Big Bang Theory, so we explained cosmology
Well,
to
you
her
always
with a
gotta
gun
be-
and a knife.
Well, you gotta be raping people in the apartment, Niles.
The dog in The Mask was the Jack Russell Terrier
Yes,
as
he
well.
was.
Yeah.
And didn't The Mask, wasn't he pretty... He was pretty fucking heavy petting, right? The Mask had a rapey quality to him.
The Mask.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a
Not the
mask-
retarded
it was
kid.
a
Not
mask-
the big-headed
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
I'm talking about The Mask, the Jim
Who
Carrey
was also
mask.
rapey, by the way.
Well, if you read any feminist blog, every movie before last year was just rape. Like,
yeah.
That's every film was made just to glorify rape.
The Bechdel test is the funniest thing in the
What's
world.
the
to me.
Bechdel test?
The Bechdel test is this like criticism
I think you told
that
me
they
about
apply
this.
to art now, where if your piece of fiction doesn't feature women having a conversation with each other that doesn't revolve around a man in the story, then your piece of fiction or whatever doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
And then you're fucking projecting
But
male dominance and
Bechdel
fucking
is just some lady.
faggot?
It's just some lady,
Right.
Like, she's not like
some
a
chick who needs to be raped.
right, and not to like make an appeal to authority or whatever. But it's not like this
Some
is
chick who needs to be raped.
yeah.
Bechdel. Is she alive?
Yeah, she is alive.
I love that she came up with that.
It's a fucking
test.
shame. Somebody should have raped her to death.
Okay.
Listen,
It's just like a James Bond villain with the fucking lapdog.
he's got
With your mangy
you know,
fucking dog.
Once he
With
holds the
its
Jack
terrible
Russell
haircut.
Terrier, he gets real mouthy about it, you know.
$1 billion. No, I'm kidding. Bechdel should not be raped.
They threw a.
I thought it was a dude, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Dude rape is okay, so that's why I said that.
They had like a.
I thought it was like a guy in jail.
On a college campus, they were showing the movie Boys Don't Cry, and they had a huge protest because they were angry that the movie Boys Don't Cry, which was a movie about trans people,
Yes, right.
didn't feature a trans performer.
Right.
Hilary Swank was
Hillary Swank is trans. I'm
She-
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
agree.
Take
She's
one
close.
look at Hillary
Yeah.
Swank. That is
Yeah.
a trans person.
Right.
If you fuck Hillary Swank, I think you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
I
gotta
think
fucking-
you're
a
you're
duty-
what is it? Transamorous? Yeah,
Polyamor? I don't know what it is.
Transamorous.
Trans.
I was reading some of those new genders, and they're like the names of them was like Maverick. It's like
yeah.
Maverick.
With the 4chan kids, they came up with a fake one called
Yeah.
Clover Gender to troll people. And Clover Gender is where you're an adult that identifies as a child that's attracted to other children.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So you go around.
You're not a pedophile.
Right, you're not a pedophile.
Right.
You're Clover Gender.
Right.
They go into these like Tumblr circles and like, excuse me, why don't you respect my gender? They're just pedophiles.
I'm Clover Gender.
I tried to interview a pedophile on the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss real quick.
Yeah, good.
What happened?
I reached out. There's all these like pedophiles.
I love Lewis on the dark web just trying to get guests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Lewis
really
is like,
was.
hey, by the way, anybody want to come on a podcast?
I did, and I
Yeah.
went to. There's a group called like Pedo Friendly or something
Right.
on Reddit. Okay.
Right.
And these people just, none of them really admit to being pedophiles. A few people do.
Right. They just taught. They're just like, well,
Yeah.
if
If
I were
I were fucking
be a
kids.
gym teacher.
Oh, hold on, I just came. I'm
right.
coming everywhere. It's
If
so
I
hot.
happened to be in a locker room,
Yeah.
what would? Yeah.
But I posted a thing in the subreddit, just
Yeah.
being like, hey, I'm interested in interviewing a
Yeah.
pedophile on my podcast. Just to,
Yeah.
I was like, you can be completely anonymous. You can black out your voice, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to get inside of the fucking mind.
Of somebody who's attracted to children.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did some research on you and went, I can't be associated with your brand. You are way too volatile. They just did a quick Google search and were like, it's just a bunch of pedophiles talking. They're like, are you going to do this Legion of Skanks thing? And they're just like playing all these clips with just the N-word. And they're like, I can't get involved in this.
That's so fucking funny.
I love that. So wait a minute. So did anybody respond to you?
I had like 3 dudes respond to me. And
Say what?
they were like, they started having the conversation. They were like, I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about coming on.
Then you have
but
a-
I want to talk more about your show. Send me some clips. And then
I love that they're being selective. Let me run this to my agent.
How many downloads
We had a
do you
company
guys
called,
have?
called Meatbox that sells subscription child pornography, but they backed out because we had an episode titled "Rape Dick."
I love that. So, and then just nothing.
No, nothing
Yeah.
came about. Because you know why? Because I backed off because it's almost like the same thing when we were talking about that Glazer kid.
Yeah.
It just starts to get creepy. If you get this
Oh
weird,
yeah, Lewis. It doesn't
eerie
start to get
feeling.
creepy. It's creepy from the
starts-
start. This is what I love
It
about
starts
you.
creepy and then it gets
It's
no.
always creepy.
No, it's
from
interesting
the
at
jump.
first.
I would love if you had a podcast. This is just like
At first, I want to talk to pedophiles on podcasts are great.
what-
They all have
the
great
Louis
voices.
J. Gomez debate series where you bring on like objectively abhorrent people that are wrong
Yeah.
about whatever their thing is, and then you lose arguments. To
But
them.
I just love.
and then you let a pedophile come on and embarrass you and prove that it's okay to fuck kids.
But the thing is,
Because
The
you're-
guy made some points.
when you
I'm not gonna sit here like an
When you-
asshole and pretend the guy didn't make any good points.
when you have a podcast and you're conducting an interview, to be a good interviewer, you can't just attack the person.
Yes, I agree.
You have to people got like. I think that you would be in a position.
yeah, you start kissing the kid on the neck.
Well, you just start going like this. Like you'd have to go like this at one point in the interview. You'd have to go. You fuck toddlers.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Well, the one guy was like, "Oh, I don't actually ever act on it, but it's here's it. You got
And
very
that Lewis doesn't respect that. Lewis
That's-
is like, you don't get any ass.
yeah. That's not rattlesnake material.
Lewis is like, that is not the real ass dude of the week.
Yeah.
Do you not live near a school?
But you know what I'm saying? Like you go into this thing, and it's kind of funny when you talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We make jokes about pedophiles and
Yeah.
racism and all this fucked
Yeah.
up shit, and it's fun. Even the racism thing, where it's
Yeah.
it might way less of
Yeah.
an offense than being a pedophile,
Right,
obviously.
right.
But even when you deal with real racism, we say stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go and you talk to a real racist dude, and he's like, "These fucking niggers," right? And you're like, it feels ugly.
Yeah.
It feels like, whoa, dude, we're kidding, and
Yeah.
they think because we're kidding.
It's like you make a few jokes on a podcast, but once you go to Charlottesville and get a hotel room and
get
then
a
start,
Dodge Charger.
yeah, and then start talking to the head of the Socialist Workers Party, and
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, what are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do?
Part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of just forget. I mean, because you're a comedian and you kind of default to saying the most offensive thing possible because like you're lazy and you don't really want to come up with a
Also,
good
that's how
joke
you
in the
find
moment.
humor.
Which is what I do.
So
I guess.
I was like, you're talking about me specifically, Nick, you fucking cunt.
Yeah.
But that's how you
'Cause
find
you're
humor.
lazy, you're bald, your girlfriend's
Yeah.
kind of a slut.
But
Your mom died, I'm
Nobody
glad.
finds a good joke. Nobody finds a good joke by going, "What's the right thing to say right now?"
Yeah.
That is not the way to a good joke. You might end up on the right side of something, but I don't think there's no way to a good joke. Just watch these, as you say, the woke crowd of you just watch them and it's like, yeah, it's not funny. Like,
Of course
there's nothing
not.
funny there.
Yeah, it's like
They might be right about whatever, and a lot of times they're not. But there's never funny.
You know
Being
what's
right
funny is
not-
because-
there's nothing funny about being right. Being funny is falling on your ass. Being funny is getting your ass kicked,
Yeah.
Right.
losing the hot chick,
Yeah.
having a small dick.
Right.
Stern was the
yeah,
first person
right.
on radio to be like, it's such a black culture thing to be like, yo, my dick is fucking, dude, I'll be busting that back out.
Yeah, Stern was like,
and
yeah,
Stern was
small
like, no, I
dick,
got a
yeah,
little
yeah.
fucking dick, and
Right.
it doesn't matter. He dated models. Stern fucking did everything you could fucking
yeah.
want to do. Because there's nothing funny about bravado.
Right.
You know.
Sure. Right.
So it's like I think that, and that's kind of, it's a
There's
weird,
nothing funny about the guy who's the proud pedophile. You know?
No, you
When
gotta
go
fucking be
on
embarrassed.
stage-
Like, I can't even get hot kids.
Well, my favorite bit you do.
I get turned down by kids all the time.
I get fucked thrown out. My favorite bit you do is when you come out and you go, I'm the pedophile comedian. Because there are people who think you're serious when you do that. When you go, I got
the
a
voices in my
4-year-old.
head.
And then you go, I got a 4-year-old, I'm fucking him, he's hot. And then you go like this, I'm the openly pedophile comedian, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And I watched your faces, most people laugh,
Yeah.
but there are a few people in the crowd that don't know where society is on any given issue, and they're like, "Oh, are we here?"
Oh, I'm sure you could do. I'm sure Steven Crowder's already tried it, but to do like a shitty like woke man on the street thing, where you try and convince woke people that being a pedophile is okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could find one or two.
I think it's funnier on stage. I'm trying to take it
they have
further.
Nambla.
I'm trying to write jokes in the voice of this pedophile. I want to like write a few, go down this path where it's like you write real funny, fucking like actual bits about like so I was fucking this kid the other day, and just like in a warped world, people that get it. People that don't.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I don't know. That's more exciting to me.
You really
than
don't get
trying
it.
to
People
write-
who were molested. Ugh, jeez, tough
Come on,
crowd.
dude, don't come to a comedy club.
Yeah.
If you've been molested, do not look for joy.
I just love
If
the idea
anything
of,
bad has ever happened to you,
No,
don't
dude.
try to laugh.
Really, dude?
Don't ever try to improve.
If you ever
your life.
been molested, you buy that kid Jeff Dunham tickets.
Yeah, right. And then you make him dress up like.
I
one of
love the idea of
puppets.
you writing a show about pedophiles and going around like L.A. pitching
Yeah.
it. You know,
That's great.
Like I think we're like dead serious, straight face in the meeting, just being like, I think we got to look at this from another way.
How about like Orange is the New Black, but for chomos? Instead of women, it's guys that fuck kids.
Yeah, so they go in at first it's real rough. They get raped a bunch and stabbed.
Right.
But once they settle in, season one is just them being raped nearly to death every day.
Yeah.
That's like 2% of prisoners.
It's crazy. And then the liars.
It's called
you gotta
Osh-
separate the liars.
It's called
At least
Oshkosh.
half of them are making it up for attention.
It's called Oshkosh is the New Black. That's
I can just imagine like Lewis interviewing kids. But here's the one. You know what's funny about pedophilia? The one group of people in society that are never believed are children. Like,
Yeah.
like people never talk about that. The idea of like children being like that guy fucked me. Like for years, people just be like, "Oh, shut up!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like,
I don't even know
Santa
what I would
came
do.
down my chimney.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, sure he did.
Sure, you met Santa.
Right.
And he put you
There's
on his
no
lap.
like child advocacy group. Like every group has like when we did this whole Who Took Johnny thing, had all these writers come in. They were like, the one group of people that has no like official advocacy is children.
Well, they're the only
Nobody
group of people.
cares.
They're the only group of people that you are allowed to hit.
Right.
You're
True.
allowed to hit them.
It's great.
It's fucking crazy.
I know.
The people who
You
are
don't.
the most
you-
defenseless.
that's the most controversial thing
Well,
you say is don't hit the
Nazis.
kids.
I know, and that by the way, I get
allowed to
more
hit
hate for
Nazis,
saying don't hit your kid than I get for anything else.
Anything you say. That's the
Yeah.
most controversial thing you say.
Yeah.
Don't beat your kid.
Don't fucking hit your. By the way,
Hey,
I
we were
I'll
going to
hit my.
sponsor your podcast. We had to pull out because you don't support child abuse.
Yeah. Are you not against corporal punishment for the youth?
I'll hit
I'm
my-
pulling out my meat rack from your podcast.
Yeah, it's a gun that fires meat into your mouth. We're removing you from our.
It's
list
called the
of
meat
clients.
bow.
Can you imagine that conversation in this fucking meat place? Like, you just like some meeting where some guy's got to be like, they have an episode called Rape Dish.
And they call it the daily meeting, and they spell it MEAT.
Somebody definitely in that meeting was like, "Hey, there's got to be like a red pill guy in the meeting who's like, we sell meat. Like, we got to get on board.
Yeah.
we got to fucking."
Dude, and there's just breathing heavily
Yeah.
because their fucking cholesterol levels are through the roof.
Do you
Can't live off steak after all.
So this hurricane is coming down in Florida now, I guess.
Bad.
I didn't even know because I see people like moving out of the state. Now that's crazy to me. I don't. There's no natural disaster that will ever make me move from my home.
Right.
Not
Well,
going to happen.
That's
Except
incredibly irresponsible.
gentrification.
Yeah, except gentrification. Except
that won't take care of you.
except the white man's march into your neighborhood.
Manifest destiny.
Right. Westward expansion.
Listen to me. I'm not for a hurricane, dude. I've been in a hurricane in Florida. I've been in a hurricane in New York City. It's fine.
I love this. Is my favorite example of like your like Puerto Rican logic, where it's
Yeah,
like
right.
this.
You
know?
can't eat carbohydrates. And you're saying, "Oh, I could survive a hurricane."
I can. Listen,
He's like, I've done that shit.
Right.
I've been in a
Now,
hurricane.
what happens when the only thing available is a Pop-Tart, and if you eat it, you'll immediately shit yourself?
Oh,
'cause you'll
dude,
fuck up your.
I will
kidneys.
blow up so quickly.
Yeah, dude, what happens if it's
gain
just
400
carbs,
pounds? Yeah.
just grain, just grocery stores full of grain, just Uncle Ben's rice
Yeah.
and loaves of
You gotta
Wonder
live
Bread?
off hardtack for
Yeah,
6
what are you
months.
gonna do?
Can't
It would be very
push-ups
difficult
anymore.
to live a keto diet.
You're just
if
carrying
you are,
James in 4 feet of water looking for a fucking venison shop.
If there's a real natural
It's day
disaster,
one. You're like, we got to start eating people. Like we have all this corn.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't eat it.
Yeah.
Don't you understand? I'm
It's not
on the
part of the
real
real
ass
ass
diet.
You start abducting people. You become a cannibal.
People are like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. How a hurricane.
There's not even a food shortage. It's really just meat and eggs.
Yeah. It's going to be bad, man. I mean, I hope it's not
No.
bad. But I think what's funny is like anything else in the news now, whenever there's like a big hurt, like Hillary Clinton's got this book where she's going around like blaming Bernie Sanders
And it's the
stuff.
hurricane's fault, and it's Bernie's fault, and it's black people's fault, and it's Beyonce's fault.
But it's just
And
so
it's
funny.
your fault.
Yeah, right.
And you did it to me.
I just love that they're like, Hillary Clinton's got some ideas on why she lost the election. Also, everyone in Florida is going to die. So
I feel like
balance
once again,
those two.
these are all things that they do in the news. Here's what happened. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Okay, Hurricane Harvey. Okay, that was big news. That was Game of Thrones fucking season finale. Big numbers.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. Okay, 50 people dying is nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Give me the fraction, Shannon. I know you're not good with numbers, but how many 50 people in the world? Give me the fraction of how many people in the world
This
that
is
is.
hard for her. What do you? I don't even know what you're talking
Find out
about.
the number of people in the world, then go to a percentage calculator and type in 50 is what percentage of however many people are in the world.
That'll really enrich the show.
Yes. What is it? 10 billion people in the world?
7.442 billion.
Okay.
7 billion.
Okay, 50 out of 7.42 billion, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Nearly, I mean, it's
So you think they're hyping up the Florida hurricane to just compete?
Yeah.
because they want to keep the ratings going.
So if
I
your
got
son got murdered, that would be like nothing, dude. That's one person out of
Like
7 billion.
Lewis is at the funeral. He's like, statistically, I got to be honest. This isn't.
I finally learned math to deal with this. I taught myself some math to make up for not having emotions.
Yeah.
I drew him this picture. It's my name. I put it on his coffin.
Lewis is like, this is nothing, really. To be honest, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing.
Well, I mean, in reality, look, if you disconnect yourself from the personal relationship from the people that die, one person is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you could make that argument out of anything. There's actually like I think it's called the Dunbar limit or the Dunbar number. There's just like a maximum amount of people you can give a shit about, in your life. That you can like.
What is that number?
I don't know. I think it's like 200. I'm
think
pretty sure
what's-
it's called the
what
Dunbar.
makes
There's
people
no
think
way you can give a shit about 200 people.
There's no way. But
the most empathetic people in the world can.
I think that this is kind of fucks with your head because it's a natural disaster. It's like not violence. It's not disease. It's like this thing that could just come at any moment, and people died.
150.
How many of them? It'd be interesting to see like how many of them were like lower income, like from bad area, or was it just a general?
Oh, that's the only people that hurricanes fuck up.
They really fuck up those people because
Because
the
they have
cops are like, all
one-story
right, we'll
houses.
get there when we get there.
Yeah. The worst thing that happens to rich people is their in-home movie theater is destroyed.
Like the Bushes live in Houston. Are they okay?
Dude, my man cave is fucked.
Right.
They have a hot air balloon they go up in.
They
as soon as
leave
the
in their
floodwaters-
boat. Like the rich people just take the boat.
It's
out
just
of
fun. If you're really rich, isn't it just kind of fun?
It's a vacation.
Like I'm talking about like fucking. You got millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Your
Who cares?
your basement gets flooded. Who really gives a fuck?
They don't
Yeah.
care.
Excuse to remodel.
It's an annoyance.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's
You're
it.
not even doing the cleaning up. Like if I was that rich, I wouldn't do nothing. When I'm rich, like really rich, like I'm talking about millions of dollars, and I'm going to be, I will have a person at my house massaging my feet every morning when I wake up. I'll have a cleaning lady every single fucking day that just cleans everything. I will
Dude,
just.
I would want none of that.
I will shit on my home towels like Stav does in hotels,
Yeah.
and I'll throw them in my cleaning lady's face.
Oh, you know what I would do? Never do socks laundry. Just a new pack of socks every fucking
I did
day.
that for years because I was poor.
Yeah.
And I just
You
didn't
just
do
don't
laundry.
do
I was poor
laundry?
and lazy, so I wouldn't do laundry. So you go to Modell's and get like a pack of socks for like $6.
Yeah.
So dude,
That's way more expensive than doing laundry.
Yeah.
That's
What I would
literally-
do is if
get
I
a
was
fucking
rich-
bucket, put hot water in it,
Yeah.
put some bleach.
Well,
and
that's why,
detergent.
Mullen, that's how you stay poor. Like, these are the old, this is like a way to stay poor.
doesn't it sound?
Draw your name.
I would do that for years when I was trying to
Yeah.
continue being
Yeah.
poor.
I tried to save money by throwing out my clothes every day, and
No.
buying new clothes. It's like a crazy, you know what I mean? Remember when he explained, he goes like this was on a previous episode, he goes, yeah, I'm just going to ask everyone I know for $1. And you go, that's panhandle. He said it like he was like in Silicon Valley, he had just come up with an app. Like he said it like he had just figured out Google. You're like, no, that's being a homeless person. And then you go like this, you go, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It like doesn't work.
Shannon, let's guess the news. I want to know what's going on with this hurricane.
It's time for another edition of Guess the News.
I have to know more information. I shouldn't have read just this headline. From the headlines that I've read, this man is innocent. He is the victim.
Man, these guys don't know shit.
Hurricane. It goes in alphabetical order, right? So it was Harvey and now H.I.
Irma, right?
It's Harvey, and then it's I, and then it's V. HIV.
Hurricane AIDS.
Yeah, right. No, it's a girl's name. They go boy, girl, boy,
Isn't
girl.
it Irma?
And you know, it was one of my favorite articles a couple years ago at the height.
Tell me there's some fucking faggots saying that they shouldn't give the names.
No. Even worse is that more people die in girl-named hurricanes because they don't take the girl hurricanes seriously enough.
That actually,
because of
weirdly, like, dude, I'm telling you right now, it kind of weirdly makes sense. It's a stupid thing, but I take women hurricanes less seriously.
If you're not the National Weather Service, you know what I mean? Like, it's not,
but
your mentality is not reflected.
They're talking about
in FEMA.
They're talking about the layman, Tim.
You know what
they're
I
talking
mean?
about me and you sitting at home. They go, "Oh, Hurricane Irma's coming," and I'm going, Hurricane Irma ain't shit.
Yeah.
Hurricane Harvey. Let's also Hurricane Harvey ain't shit either. That's a mistake. They can't name them Jew names, or I'm not fearing any Jew coming to my fucking town. Okay.
Yeah.
Hurricane Irma. That's a Jew woman.
Right. The next one should be like the sound of like a black guy that's gonna fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hurricane Delroy.
Wouldn't it be
People
funny if they
afraid of that
They
one.
should just name all they should have an Asian guy named Mullen. They're all Hurricane nigga.
Hurricane, yeah, right.
Hurricane Muhammad.
Hurricane, that Jack dude from Bloodsport.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
his name was. Bolo Yuang.
Yeah, I think that's not that crazy, actually, Nick, because people are
No,
sheeple.
it's crazy.
People are sheeple.
It's fucking stupid.
I made that
There's
word
no,
up.
I don't
there's
think
no
people
way
are
to measure that.
dumb. I think there's been a Hurricane Gloria, Hurricane Sandy. There have been enough.
Right.
Sandy can
feminized
also be
hurricanes.
another male Jew.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Yeah.
It could be Sandy.
Sandy Silverstein.
Right. Okay, that's true.
very yeah. So here's the deal, right?
When are trans hurricanes? gonna
That
be
was
a thing?
Katrina.
Hurricane butt sparkle.
was a trans hurricane?
Hurricane Christelia. They always have like fucking.
Katrina was Maverick.
That's the thing that, and it's not, and it's because
Hurricane Mercedes Gucci.
You know what's the fucking shittiest part about identity politics is that you can't make fun of people for doing something corny if they're part of like a protected class. They're like, wow, it's transphobic to make fun of the names. It's like, no, there's just a preponderance of nerds in the trans community who pick like anime names for themselves.
Right.
I feel like there should be some sort of government body that says, no, you can't be named Starlindia. Like, we're not.
But you have to make that government body.
We're not letting you be named.
You have to make that government.
Aetherian. You know, when you become a girl,
Yeah.
you can be Rachel if you want.
Well, that's the problem. It's like, don't
Yeah.
throw it in my
You're
face.
not.
more.
Yeah.
I don't have a
I'm
problem.
a Treyu. You are not a Treyu.
right, yeah.
You are not a Treyu.
I don't have a problem with gays. Like Tim is fine. I have no problem with what you
Saying
do, Tim.
that you don't have a problem with gays and using me as the example
Right, yeah.
is like saying that Charles Barkley.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
It's like the worst. You
No,
know?
but I'm going to tell you right now, I have no problem with.
I don't have a problem with
gays.
black people. Anthony DeVito's fine. Anthony DeVito's a great guy. Dude.
Yeah.
It's
I like
not,
Obama.
it's not about it's not about what you're doing with your dick and pussy.
Yeah.
It's about how you act. And if you act
Yeah.
like a flaming queer,
Well, you also don't like me because I don't really get in. I don't dig it. Like I have 2 jokes in an hour or 40, whatever about being gay. For maybe 2-3 jokes.
I don't even care.
It's not a
If you
thing.
talk about you being gay.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. It's how you act. If
Yeah.
you're fucking Nick, if you're a straight dude, but if you're walking around going, "Hey sister, we need to go get some
Yeah, yeah,
brunch,"
yeah.
That would be fascinating as a straight guy.
We're just
That
crazy.
would be odd.
You'd be Harrison Greenbelt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were doing that, as hi,
Yeah, right.
pussy.
We're just crazy bitches. We're gonna get some pussy tonight. I would literally think we should kill this guy.
Yeah.
That guy should be dead.
But
it has nothing to do with
but
what
here's
you're
the deal.
doing with your
People
dick.
should be able to act the way they want to act. So there's certain gay dudes where that's who they are.
No, it's annoying.
Yeah, but everything's annoying. Like,
It's
it might
annoying.
be annoying if you're a pedophile in a fucking closed Reddit group for some guy to come on and go, "Hey, I'm trying to get my listenership up. Can I have you on my pod?" Like, that's we all annoy people in different ways.
What? I offered to pay them in child.
Okay, right. But
In
here's
Monopoly
my
money?
point is that everybody's annoying, so you can't just be like, "Oh, well, those people are annoying because they're like effeminate and flamboyant."
Yeah.
Everybody's annoying.
No.
No, my
Yes.
problem isn't that it's
Hold on,
annoying.
the-
The
the-
name thing is stupid. It's
You don't
corny.
think everybody's
It's a funny
annoying?
thing to laugh at.
It is
in
a
the
funny
sa-
thing
in
to
the
laugh
same way that I would laugh at any other nerd doing a nerd thing. And I say that as someone that is a nerd myself.
Yeah.
I have to suppress those impulses
And it's
so
we're
I can
comics.
fit in
We're
with
supposed
society.
to make
The
fun of
point-
things.
Yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
no, Nick makes a very good point, which is like
It's
you-
like imagine if Mike Lawrence was trans and the awful name he would pick for himself.
Oh my god.
My name is Thor Spider-Man.
My name is Crystalia Vatherion.
I think he will be trans in 5 years. Like,
Probably.
I feel that he's going in that direction.
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
Like, you read some of his tweets and
Right.
stuff, and you're like, oh, soon there will be like.
Well, no,
I've had an awakening.
He's gonna fuck up his hormone profile with all the writers' room snacks he's consuming. He's, I've got breasts now. I grew breasts from shark bites and gushers.
I think it is, and they are more annoying. You can't say that, Tim.
No, everybody's annoying
Listen,
in a different
no,
way.
everybody
Bros
is
are
annoying.
annoying,
Let me say
dude.
this.
Everybody's
Let me say
annoying.
this,
People who ride
okay?
Harley Davidsons are annoying.
Yeah, you're naming other fucking sects of annoying people. Yes, you
You're
can do
ruining
that,
my
okay?
argument by
No,
providing counterexamples.
That's not true. You can't say everybody is annoying.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Because
you
it's
can.
true. Everybody's annoying.
There's something about everybody
I'm fucking
that's
annoying.
annoying.
You're going to tell me that flamboyantly gay guys, hold on, aren't more annoying than fucking dumb broads like Shannon that are just sitting there being blonde?
No, I think here's the deal. I think any example from a group you could pull in a specific time, and that might be annoying more or less in a different example. Yeah, I don't think flamboyant gay guys are more annoying than bros. It depends. Like, I think I don't want to sit on a plane
very close
next to anybody who's really a pronounced version of themselves. Like,
Black teenage girls.
I'll
make a generalization.
People whose
They're up
personality
there.
is like Barstool Sports, where everything they're like Saturday is for the boys, you know, and like their personality is a slogan on a website.
Yeah.
Those people annoy
Yeah,
me
keep
too.
calm and chive on.
Yeah, that group.
Those
A shirt
assholes.
with just kale on it, like spelled like Like, I think people are annoying. I think what you're saying is that those effeminate gay guys are outwardly annoying. And that I will.
They're
yes.
annoying me in my.
Some of them are funny.
They're coming in my space.
Who's coming in this? You
know?
just harassed by gay people on the train.
They're fucking-
Look at this poppy over here. Look at him with his podcast.
Oh my God, is that the Puerto Rican rattlesnake?
Oh my God, it's Lewis. Skank alert.
I love gay guys. I have a lot of gay friends.
Yeah.
But it's like
It's me.
No, but it's not you, Wayne. I
Right,
have a bunch of gay friends, and they're just. You can even tell they're gay. And whereas like Mateo Lane,
Yeah.
he's probably flamboyant when he's not around
He's less flamboyant.
like comics.
Yeah.
He's not that
don't think
flamboyant.
he's that flamboyant.
No, I don't think he's that flamboyant
Yeah.
either. I'm saying I think he's probably more so because he's very gay. You're gonna know he's gay immediately
Yeah.
from talking to him, but he's not fucking annoying in his space. Or you know what it is, dude? It's almost like an over sexualization. And you're right, it is a bro
Well, you
thing.
can tell he's
The
gay
annoying
just from
quality
his
about
posture.
bros is they fucking there's almost like, dude, I'm getting so much pussy this weekend, dude. I'm crushing ass. Like, dude, beat it. And when gay guys do the same thing, and there seems to be an over sexualization a lot in the gay community, and they talk about it a lot. It's very important.
Well,
to
it's
them.
what happens when you're told your sexuality is a sin and a crime and it's diseased and it's like all of that. The response to having to
But
live
they're told
underground.
that. Everybody's told that. If you're
No,
raised in
that's
a
not
Catholic
true.
household,
no,
religious
you're
household,
not true. No, gay people did not have the same upbringing as straight people. Straight people were allowed to go to the prom. They were allowed to go on dates. Gay people didn't have to do that. Their sexuality was literally completely, totally secret, underground.
By
They
the
were
way, in
told
my
it
high
was
school,
shameful.
where they were gay.
The only time they could talk about it is when they were invited on racist
this is
podcasts.
this is how subculture. Yeah, right. But this is how subcultures develop. It's a response to something. So the response to being told that like you're shameful and it drives you underground, and yeah, you get louder. You're like, I'm proud. It's why you have a
Tim,
pride parade.
You're putting
Louis,
your
have you
dick
ever
in a
seen-
man's butt.
have you
It's
ever
pretty
seen-
shameful. What do you want me to say here? All right.
Well, I mean,
I got no problem with it. But it's
why?
gross.
So let's look at the Puerto Rican pride parade. Why are we doing that?
Disgusting.
Why are we doing that?
They
Yeah,
should
okay.
literally. They should slit those people's throats. It is a 4-hour rape-a-thon.
Have you ever seen Paris is Burning?
The porn with
No,
Paris Hilton?
it's
incredible.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty dope, dude. She sucks that cock, takes you down.
No, it's a documentary about like ball culture in New York and like the
Ball? What is
ball culture. Like the young.
It's great.
Yeah. It's like
It's really
back when
good.
New York was like a shithole. All these like poor black gay kids and Puerto Rican kids from the Bronx, they would meet in these spaces and they would put on like drag shows.
Right.
And like all of the shit that annoys you now started in these like communities like of severely economically disenfranchised, abused people that have nowhere to go that like put on these dramatic, ridiculous shows, and it's very interesting, and you can respect it a lot more if you understand like the
Yeah,
history of it.
and I think
when
it's-
it's some rich kid from Westchester that
You're talking about Homo Thugs?
no, not homo.
You're talking
thugs.
about the prequel to Homo Thugs?
No, but you're talking about like the loud, flamboyant gay guy that is like quote unquote annoying. It's annoying because like mostly when you see that, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting, but what you associate that with is like an upper middle class white person that grew up in probably a pretty culturally liberal household that happened to be gay and, didn't have the experience that a straight,
Right.
analog of themselves would have. But it's like, for them to be loud and obnoxious.
I think what Nick is saying is when these kids from Westchester go to these liberal arts schools and then co-opt the identity of, because listen, here's the deal.
You know what it is? Yeah. It's almost like they're like sort of like it's kind of like a wiggerish element to it.
I also think that represents a portion of gay people. It's not all gay people.
No, I know.
And it's like
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those annoying, fucking flamboyantly gay people.
It's a portion, and it's also the thing that people were comfortable. Everybody's comfortable in a certain role. So all through the 90s, that was the gay guy. Will and Gray. It was the gay best friend, the snarky gay.
No, but Will from Will and Grace wasn't what I'm really talking about.
He was one dude, but everybody else.
I'm just talking. You know what it is? I'll say this. Let's fucking break it up. Forget all that. Forget gay, straight.
Yeah.
Forget all that. If you are fucking loud.
Yeah.
And you come in my space with if you're loud and ignorant.
You're loud and you're ignorant.
You're Yamanika, me, all of us. Everyone that's friends with you falls
all of us.
Yeah. Everybody who's friends with you falls into that category.
I get it.
All of us.
I get it. And here's what I'm saying. I completely get it. If you're loud and obnoxious.
There are people who feel this way about guys that skateboard over the age of 12.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's a business guy looking at you skateboard going, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What program do we have to end for that? So I think everybody is annoying.
Well, what are you gonna do? We I guess I'm right. You're wrong.
We got to do haunted houses.
We're gonna do
Are you really going to Fright Fest?
Are ghosts real?
I hope it's gay Black and Puerto Rican Day at Six Flags when Lewis goes.
You mean you hope it's Six Flags?
Yeah, I hope Six Flags. Yeah. I hope the haunted house is just gay guys grabbing Lewis's dick.
Every day is Puerto Rican Day at Six Flags.
Hey, welcome to the haunted house.
Is there like a rumor that the Six Flags in Jersey is more violent or dangerous than other ones? Because people are like, bring a gun, dude. I'm like, what? I've been to Six Flags like 12 times.
Let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you, who's saying "bring a gun, dude" to the Six Flags in Jersey? Who's that What Reddit thread is that?
Mikey Guns 20. He's a fan of the show. Anytime I say I'm going anywhere, he says you should bring a gun.
Listen,
I got invited to a gun meetup in the woods by a fan of like all the podcasts.
All right, well, hold on.
They pitched it to me.
Wait a minute,
like,
Connecticut?
Yeah, I don't know, somewhere. They were like, it's a 4chan thing. We all meet up and show off our guns to each other.
That's not what it is. I went to a gun meetup in the woods.
And then that became Charlottesville.
Yeah. Well, that became the American Civil War.
Right.
I met up with a fan and shot guns with his wife in the woods, dude.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, it was fucking great,
It's not
dude.
that different, I guess, but...
Then at the end, he's like, well, Lewis, it's been great having you here. You mind fucking my wife?
I would do it.
We're all out here in the woods together. I
would have no problem
put a
cutting
cherry
you,
on
dude.
top of this.
I've been asked and I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I kind of regret not doing it. You don't want to know why?
It's the real reason we lost our meat sponsor.
Lewis, now, I know you just
lay the pipe in this guy's wife.
You shot my guns, you fucked my wife. I just have one more request. Would you mind fucking my son?
All right, I got to stay in character.
Keep in mind, I do own this meat company.
Yeah, it's a nice parable. It's a weird Greek parable about the man.
Are you going to Fright Fest?
I think we're going to do it. I think we're doing it on September 21st. The fans can come. We're just going to open it up, dude. Come fucking hang out with us.
I don't understand the point of the going to the amusement park in fall. That's kind of like...
Well, it's a little colder, but that's why we do Fright Fest,
It's for people that can't deal with change and time.
What do you mean?
Well, summer's over. The amusement parks are done.
You pull it. You do it.
Some people would say, "Hey, you're 30. The amusement parks are done," and that would be a fair point.
Yeah.
No, well, it is a lot different. When you go on a roller coaster now, the next day you're fucked.
I've never understood haunted houses,
The next day
and
you're
it's
fucked.
interesting. Like some people love haunted houses. I love scary movies.
Yeah.
I've never understood the need to walk around in a haunted house.
It's also because you're never actually really scared. It's nothing scary. It's like a plastic
weird.
fucking skeleton.
Right.
There are ones. Shanique even pulled this up.
There
Where
are
I
some
walk
ones
through
that are
where
good.
guys chase
There's
you with a
one. Look
chainsaw
up like
and
the
shit.
scariest haunted house on YouTube. Like I forget what it's called. We were gonna do it. It's in LA.
Oh, you know these are coming. Is this haunted house sexual assault? You know, she's supposed to go out and grab.
No,
people.
but that's
Norbert House or
something
something?
Manor, something Manor. Look it up. It's like the scariest haunted house. Pull up the trailer. It's like a 4-hour haunted house. You go in and you sign these waivers that let you know you can be hurt. This is they fuck with you a little bit. You can be hurt. You cannot sue them. You're signing all this shit. You can be touched. You're gonna have fucking bodily fluids
This is also
on
what
you.
realtors do in South Central LA with their clients. Sign this waiver before we look. You can be touched. This will be scary.
In lieu of an earnest money deposit, what we are allowing you to do is to sign away your right to sue us in case you get stabbed, sliced, or fucked up in any capacity while you are enjoying the establishment.
Now, just think about the cash flow potential on all of these properties.
You pull it up on the big screen. Here it is. Look at this.
What is that?
This is the haunted house. They lock you in shit and they fucking touch you and put shit in your face. Here, pull it up on the big screen. Give us a fun.
This is LA County
Somebody
Jail.
vomited.
2-hour tour.
Just toilet spraying shit in a person's face. That's not haunted.
Wait, hold put your earphones on.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandra Machos. Welcome
look at this
to
whore.
Hollow Week here on IO.
What is this? Is this like a top 10 haunted
In
houses?
San Diego, California,
This must be just
McCamey
this one
Manor
place.
is not your typical
This is Joe
haunted house.
Arapaio's
Instead
jail.
of seeing ghosts, employees are there to scare the crap out of you. You could be bound, gagged, drenched in blood, and terrorized for 4 to 7
That's my bathroom,
hours.
actually.
This is just Trump's new ICE regulations.
It's the world's most extreme. Sounds more sick than scary, right? They put guests through
Look at this
sheer
shit, dude.
terror. Force feeding them, riding them, shouting in their faces, shutting them in small boxes.
I would
and
fucking
more.
lose
That's
my
kinda
shit.
Disturbing. Sounds like they took a page out of the movie Hostel.
She's a fucking moron. Just some
This
hot
experience
chick.
is supposed to scare you to death.
Look at her
So does
tits,
it cost
though.
extra? if you
She
have a
described
heart
this to
attack?
her
If they
friends as an
do
acting
terrify
gig.
you to that extent, then hey.
She's like,
at
yeah,
least
I
you
booked
can't say
something.
it was false advertising. I don't know. It
She
feels
was
like
one
something
left turn
really
away from being the
bad.
co-host of
Like,
Guys
if
We
someone
Fucked.
does have a heart attack and dies, everyone will just think it's part of the show. Having said that, all guests are required to sign a waiver, and they have a health check to make sure that they can endure the stress.
Tim's out.
Yeah, I'm out. They're like, there's a good chance you have a heart attack on the line to get in.
I would love to.
They're like,
just
we gotta
eating
be
a-
honest.
Eating a sandwich at the end is like, guys, they wouldn't let me in.
I would love to go there and just pull my dick out halfway through and just furiously start beating off while some guy in a gimp mask shows me. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you think I came here for?"
Dude,
You're shitting in my mouth. I'm supposed to not jack off. They're like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, everyone. The haunted house is canceled for the afternoon."
You just look at them as
Some man did what he came here to do.
Yeah, as the cops are dragging you away, you look at them, you're like, who is this for?
This is what I done.
I guess McCamey Manor
You
should have
put a
seen this one
screwdriver
coming.
in my asshole. I'm supposed to not come? Yeah, we had to close down the child porn emporium because some man enjoyed it.
Oh,
That's some crazy shit. People pay like $200 and they get on a waiting list to go onto that fucking thing. I'm intrigued, but I would punch somebody in the face, dude. If they, I mean, I'm not even being a tough guy about it. I think my reaction would be if I started freaking out and they wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Because they don't stop. You're screaming stop. Like there's another one. You got to see the one trailer where like the girl's crying and she's going stop.
Yeah.
And he's just fingering her.
You know,
up against
after
the
that-
wall.
This is just a house of rape. Like,
Dude, actually, I'm gonna get a job here.
yeah, this is literally just people signing waivers saying I consent to be assaulted.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just
That's a nutty fucking thing, though. That's another level of like extreme horror, and I think these are starting to pop up all over the country. There's a bunch of them that are like extreme horror houses. And
You know, if you like that, I'd recommend to you is Getting Lost in a Cavern.
Right.
We could do that. We book a trip to Luray Caverns
Yeah.
for you, and then take away your map, and then
I was
just
on the
leave
I was
you
on the
in there.
orienteering team in high school.
What is that?
That's
Is
being
that
able to.
pointing out Chinese people.
There's one.
Yeah. There he is. We're orienteers.
Pointing out Chinese people.
Lewis's mother, she's like really proud. She's like, my son's a gook spotter. What's your kid do? You can see it from a mile away.
She's like showing you the methadone bottle. It's like, it's the same color as those people you like to point out. Doesn't it look like one of them? One of those rail workers. We're so fond of observing.
Orienteering is you get a fucking compass, okay, and they put you out in the woods and you have to go to these different like checkpoints and you got to find shit and like be able to navigate with like a fucking like little map and it's kind of crazy. I was in
And if you can't navigate, you got to touch the guy's dick. You got to, orienteering. So
That's not
you
even.
get lost.
You're talking about the Boy Scouts, but a fake version of that.
They drop you in the woods, and you get naked because it's fun. And
They call it a word that doesn't exist.
they call it orienteering when and somebody shows you their dick in the woods, and you have a compass for some reason.
No, it's a guy with a panel van and a set of pliers. Orienteering.
No,
it's pretty cool.
I was in the Naval Junior ROTC.
They give your mother $500 before they take you, and she says, "Just don't kill him." Orienteering.
I was in the Naval Junior ROTC, and you had to do like things involved with that. So in order to get medals and shit, like medals of honor and fucking straps, you did different things. Like, so we'd go orienteering, we'd go fucking onto a fucking boat and fucking I don't know, raise a fucking mast.
Jerks the guy off.
Lewis has the all 7.5 inches badge that he earned.
You go on a boat, you just jack off some guy you never saw before.
Oh,
he was in a suit.
He has the all 7.5 inches badge. Oh, and it has the device to indicate both balls as well.
I just realized,
And
dude,
the
Naval
stripes
Junior
here.
ROTC
That
was
means
just
9
fucking.
tours of duty.
It was just adult Boy Scouts. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's what the military is.
Yeah.
You're just training for the military. When you're a Cub Scout.
No, that's literally what ROTC is.
No, I know what ROTC is, but I'm saying the Boy Scouts are kind of training you for that same type of thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts. I was a Boy Scout for a little while. Were you?
No, never.
You?
Never.
Jerk off to them?
I was on a swim team. I had that covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you did. I did multiple things. I did everything. I did everything mediocrely.
Listen,
You ever
we
seen
didn't
the-
all have the parents. We get it.
You ever see the Lifetime movie Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life, about the kid who loses his swim team position by masturbating?
No, but now I want to see it.
Yeah,
Where is
it's the best Lifetime movie. Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life. It's this bullshit Christian movie about how this kid starts looking at. They imply it's porn, but it's Lifetime, so they can't show it's porn. So he's like, closing the door, and looking at a website, and it's a woman in like a sweater that's like, "How's your day?" And then he's like, "Oh," and you never see him jacking off either. He just drinks.
I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Every gay movie, it's just a porn. Like a lot of these things are just porn. Like
Is this
you said,
cyber seduction?
yeah.
Pull it up, Shannon. Let's see.
The trailer.
That's the truth.
Peterson, heard you made All-State.
Thanks.
The best freestyle
Wow.
dance.
You could get it.
You know what you need? A little bit of Monica.
I was looking at pornography. Is that what you guys want to hear? It's garbage, Justin.
What happens when you are every 15-year-old boy in America?
You can't stop.
Jeremy Sumter.
Get the hell away from me.
In a Lifetime original movie, Cyber Seduction.
In a Lifetime original movie, I blew the director for this role.
So it's an entire Lifetime movie.
Kelly
about
Lynch
jerking off
stars
to
in her
porn.
last movie.
Jeremy Sumter, and I can't believe I'm doing this.
The last stop before cleaning up after community
That's
theater.
written by like a Hollywood pedophile who's like,
Oh, yeah.
so he's a hot
No,
guy.
a Christian
and he's-
Hollywood
right.
pedophile.
He's like, he's a hot guy and he can't stop jerking off.
It's so funny as people are like, "Oh, the Jews control Hollywood." And it's like you don't understand. That is the best version of Hollywood. Is a Jew-controlled Hollywood.
Right. Do you have any
pick
other
any
idea?
other type of person to
Group
control
that's represented? Yeah.
Hollywood Christians are fucking insane.
Right. Yeah.
Like Brenda Hampton, that show Seventh Heaven. That's what Christian Hollywood produces. Is a show starring a pedophile, a man who rapes children as a Christian, where they deal with issues like, I don't know, a 25-year-old man who lives with his family still smoking a single joint and being excommunicated from the family.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how shitty a Muslim Hollywood would
It
be?
takes a special type of person to grow up a 14-year-old and then do Seventh Heaven, you know? Then get on and deliver like an after-school special speech.
That would be your Christian Hollywood.
I would jerk off. I mean, so much. It got so. When I was that age, I was like, I mean, when this movie about like turn of the century, 98, 99, when porn was fucking like, is that when this is about?
Yeah, probably. All Lifetime movies were shot in the late 90s.
Okay, good. Well, no, because look, I mean, I got so careless with it. I used to just
a woman grabbing a payphone while she's getting clubbed. You know,
I used
like
to,
what?
I used to jerk off onto my I had a fucking a robe
Yeah.
that I would clean up my cum with, and I also my in high school, I had a lot of like black lights and fucking like lava lamps and stars on my fucking. I really wanted to be
like a manager at a cosmic bowling facility. That was my dream, is to work at
Moonlight bowling.
10 pins on future night. I would put on Prodigy and look at my teeth in the mirror and my black
His
light.
mother's like, "Good night, I love you. You're gonna be the best bowling alley manager that West Haverstraw has ever seen."
My mom, an Italian woman, an old Italian lady. Yeah, dude. I fucking. But I would jerk off. I mean, I remember looking up at my robe, just and the cum would just fucking like every roll of it, like it was like splattered, like it was like a fucking painting.
Well, there's a misconception with Lifetime movies that the theme is always like a woman that's being abused or whatever, which does happen.
Sometimes
in some
the
of
kid
them.
abusing his dick.
No, mostly what it is a strong woman character that's not being believed.
Right.
That's what it has to like
Interesting,
revolve around, is that she's right about something and no one really agrees with her until they
This
eventually come
kid's
around.
suffering abuse at home.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he's not.
No,
You
he
meddling
isn't.
whore.
yeah, it's always that kind of shit. Dude, Lifetime movies are the best form of entertainment.
Yeah.
They're so good.
The only one I remember, I remember the one, the steroids one was a famous one.
I used to just do nothing.
We watched
but
that one in school.
I would get high and watch Lifetime movies and Degrassi: The Next Generation. And that was like the only form of entertainment I would consume. Degrassi: Next Generation has got to be like the best TV show of all time.
Yeah, Degrassi was the
Degrassi,
Canadian high
I
school
would
show.
check in on that. Yeah.
My stepsisters watched it when I was a teenager, and I remember only seeing one scene one time where there's a girl that like used to cut, but she quit cutting.
Yeah, they got really dark on Degrassi. It was like Saved by the Bell, but they went into like deep fucking waters.
There's a fat girl on the show that starts dating like the freak nerd or whatever, and then he smashes her head into a fucking cinder block, and she's just whoop, she's just right on,
He
off
realized
the show.
Even he realized he was better than her.
Just bounces her head off a curb, and then she's just she was top billed in the credits. She's just gone.
They killed her?
Yeah.
Dude,
And then the nerd
killed her?
The nerd comes back to shoot Drake in the stomach and paralyze him. Drake was a cast member.
I know,
right?
I remember.
And then he's in a wheelchair.
Dude,
for the
pull up
rest of the show.
Degrassi's darkest moments. I bet you there's a compilation on YouTube somewhere.
There's one of the freshman girls gets raped by a senior at a party.
Yeah.
And like I think that episode ends with her being like, no, and then like later on in that season, it's her dealing with the rape.
It's also 96, so the lesson is don't go to parties if you're a bitch.
Her friend is like, like Ashley, like you were raped, and
Calm
she's like,
down.
and then and then she goes,
whatever, bitch.
yeah. she's like, Liberty, I drank the punch. What do you expect? And she's like, yeah, I guess you're right.
This
That's
is just
it.
being
That's
written
the
by
end of the rape storyline.
rapists. Literally being written by rapists.
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened, but that she means I consented.
Like she
Sandra,
gets violently
I'm wearing a skirt.
Violently gang raped, and then she's like, you have to go to the police, and she's like, Sarah, it's Canada.
Dude,
and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. We don't have
There's a show on
Commonwealth law.
Netflix called 13 Reasons Why, where the show's about a chick who kills herself and leaves tapes and telling all these people in the town why they contributed to her killing herself.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it's like you weren't nice to me in homeroom, and then the end is just a brutal rape. It's like a horrible, brutal, and that's somehow like on the level with all these other one guy published a poem that she didn't want published.
The rape was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, but it's just like it's this crazy show.
That's
where it's
like one of those joke Lewis should pitch this show ideas that somehow actually got made.
Yeah. She's like, I killed myself because, you published that poem and then...
it's about some dumb bitch that killed herself. And she leaves these videotapes.
Not a real ass chick, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The opposite of a real
Can
ass
you
chick.
imagine somebody saying, if you're starting a video, that's a great podcast, by the way, I'm dead now, but listen, please subscribe.
No, I want to do a
Rate
post.
us
You're
on-
listening to
a
this,
posthumous
I'm already dead.
podcast. That'd be incredible, dude.
Yeah, but they love dark shit with kids, and the kids all got to be very good looking. Very good looking kids killing themselves and each other.
Yeah.
Hollywood loves it.
Yeah,
Can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I can't. I can't watch that at all. I watched one time. I remember I was in the gym.
Yeah.
Just getting changed. Like,
Sure.
after a workout or
Because
whatever.
you were homeless. I was in the gym showering because that's what you do.
I just bought a fresh 6-pack of socks.
Right, and you're
I was
changing.
Opening them. No, I was in the gym, and there was some sort of... It wasn't a crime scene reenactment show. It was one of those, like, court TV type shows that was about a real death. That was
Right.
about an intruder came into this woman's house
Yeah.
and murdered her children in front of her.
Right.
And they had the 911 call, but it was a real 911 call.
Yeah.
And this bitch was losing her mind, dude. Just fucking,
Yeah.
he's murdering my baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in a fucking like a locker room. People are just putting their socks on.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the most bizarre thing, and I'm
crazy.
going, who was at home watching this? Going, this is entertaining. I'm listening to a woman scream her brain,
Yeah.
losing her mind because her babies were murdered in front of her,
Right.
by a giant black man. I'm
Right.
assuming.
That's what keeps people in this country in line. You know,
Yeah.
like people watch that. They're like, well, that's why we work hard so that we don't have our kids murdered in front of us in the home.
It's crazy, dude. It's
crazy.
That's something that it's.
We used to watch Rescue 911. Me and my dad all the time would watch Rescue 911. It was the craziest show ever. Literally, Rescue 911 was
Reno
just
911.
like,
I'm like, Tim, that's not the.
No, I loved Reno 911. Rescue 911 was literally like somebody would electrocute themselves in a pool, and then they would just reenact it, and you would just see these accidents happen, and then like the ambulance, they would be like, stay on the phone with me, and the lady would be like, my son's in the pool, he's blue, he's dead, and the lady would be like, don't get off this phone. Don't. If you get off this phone, we're not even coming. Stay on the phone with me. And I'm like, what kind of show? Me and my dad watched it every
It's
week.
so bizarre.
Yeah.
I also love being gifted to be an actor on a crime scene reenactment show. And they have
Yeah.
like the family member that like they're consulting with on
Yeah.
the side, and you're just fucking faking being electrocuted as a
Yeah.
14-year-old son.
There's this shitty Baltimore comic that we kind of make fun of. This guy Tom Myers, who's like just an insane person, but he has an acting reel, and one of his roles was like in one of those reenactments on Investigation Discovery, and so
I did one of those shows.
but it's a non-speaking role, so he's just is dressed up as a priest, and then his acting reel cuts to him going like. Just having a reaction shot. I know that doesn't really translate for a podcast. It's him making a stupid
My roommate
face.
last night, I go home. My roommate's got a 3-camera setup and lights, like big, expensive lights that are like hot.
Tim, we are remaking Seinfeld
No, listen,
in the apartment.
Dude, I come in. He's making an audition tape with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's like taping it. They have a. He's like, and all you hear is this. Like, I'm in my room just eating barbecue chicken pizza, and all you hear him say is this. He goes, "I am a vampire. I have been alive for 300 years." And she's like feeding him lines, and it's like, oh, this is no way to live. This business is no way to live. It's like,
fuck that. You feel like an asshole. I went because I deleted a bunch of shit off my computer recently because I'm stupid. I shouldn't have deleted it. I have a bunch of like me just reading fucking like monologues and practicing for fucking like auditions and shit, like auditions on tape.
What kind of auditions do you do? Because I only do commercial auditions.
Usually big criminals.
A commercial I shot
roles.
just fucking aired, and people messaging me.
What's
about
the commercial? Somebody said something
for
about
IBM.
Good for you.
What do you mean somebody said something?
Somebody
about
tweeted being like, talk to Nick about his IBM commercial.
Oh yeah.
look at you, IBM, bro.
Yeah. I
That's
thought you
heavy.
mean somebody said something about it as if it was an issue.
Yeah. Somebody was like, yeah, you know what, dude, fuck that.
Yeah.
Patreon. They dropped you.
Yeah, they did.
My auditions are always the same thing. I walk in the room. I say hello to Sean Donnelly. I say hello to some fat kid from UCB. We all walk in and we go like this. Hey, get out of there!
Yeah.
And they're
Dude,
like,
I walked into it.
I see Sean at voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my sides printed out, and I barely memorized it. It was close to memorized, but not really. I was very underprepared. So I walk in, and there's these two dudes, and I was like, "Oh shit, they don't have any sides on the table." And they're like, "No." And the one guy, he goes into his audition. He goes, "Here, dude, you can take mine." And like, I just wanted to get the part so badly, just so he would have to deal with that. Like one day, seeing me in the part, I didn't want the part. I just wanted his niceness to bite him in the ass.
Also, actors are the shittiest, most vindictive, selfish fucking people.
He pulled up the middle page.
They fucking suck, dude.
Yeah.
I go into these like commercial auditions,
give you
you'll
the
see
wrong
them.
script.
Yeah, just around there, like fucking. They say hi to each other, but there's no actual emotion in the way they're like, "Oh my god, it's so good to see you," and it's like if it was actually good to see somebody, you wouldn't say.
And they always
that.
know you're not one of them.
Yeah, right.
Like they always know.
Yeah.
At least with me.
It's also
like, they
kinda
always
psychotic.
know
If
that,
you-
like, and they also know that I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
And the casting people know I'm not getting
You're right.
it.
My favorite thing to do is when I'm sitting, you sit in that casting office and they're all like going over their lines
Yeah.
or whatever. To just sit and like Play Candy Crush on your phone and scratch yourself. And
I just watch Alex Jones very loud. That's all I do. I watch Infowars very loud, and Alex Jones will be like, "Many of these immigrants are 3-time serial killers, and they're in this country." And I'll just watch it, and watch Infowars and nod.
Dude, I tell you, one thing that's terrible about Mexicans is half of them are controlled by OK Ultra. You think they're illegal immigrants? I'll tell you, every part of the government.
Mullen, Nick.
Yeah. Dude, the funniest thing in the world is he comes on
hold
last
on.
night. And he just goes,
Give me a second.
He goes like this. He goes, "Good evening, everyone. The world has never been closer to thermonuclear war."
Dude, I came out of an audition and I did literally what is considered the fucking hackiest thing you could do. Omar was there for it. I just like maybe my third audition ever.
Yeah.
I come out and there's like fucking 8 people waiting. I come out and I just go, I was like, all right, boys, you can all go home. Got the part.
Oh, God.
And it literally, I just watched 8 people roll their eyes at me.
Yeah. And that wasn't even an audition. That was a assistant manager at KFC position.
It was to be the manager of a Cosmic Bowling.
Yeah, right.
And then he was like, he never had to call, and he said,
"Go home, folks. Daddy's got it."
Yeah. I want to talk about this really quick.
Where you take the help wanted sign out of the window. That movie.
I think this is great. So there's this man, I guess, pull up the story on the big screen, Shannon. He's facing 15 years in jail after he caught his wife in bed with another man. Here's what happened, right? I guess their kids, like pad, was missing. He couldn't find it. So he used the Find My Phone app, right? Pad's in the fucking car. This bitch is driving toward Rockland County, where I grew up, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, why is she going to Rockland County? That's weird, right? She said she was doing this other shit. He's like, suffering near, where the fuck is this? So he goes up, right? Goes up to this fucking house. It ends up being her boss's house. The front door's open. He opens the door and he like films her for a second and like is like, you know, what the fuck, what are you doing? They kind of have a couple moments where he's like, fuck you, bitch, whatever. He leaves. It is what it is, right? This bitch leaves him, and then they press charges on him for like burglary and what's the actual 15 years. And I love how the actual New York Post article says, and now the cuckolded hubby, they call him a cuck in an actual fucking. I know that's literally what he is.
Local complete faggot.
You see, like, the alt-right just getting their little, you know, they are influencing the culture a little bit, you know?
The writer's like, listen, anybody can fuck this girl, this woman. This guy's a real bitch. So if you guys want to...
Just a white man in his homeland.
Yeah, dude. So he pleaded guilty last month. He's due back in court September 20th. He commits a trespass. This is his lawyer says. He commits a trespass that in a sane jurisdiction is a violation and not a crime, and he uncovers the greater evil of his wife screwing some stranger. First of all, what type of lawyer says screwing some
this?
Yeah.
Fucking Greenberg.
Right. I tell you, what is this guy? He goes and he sees his wife fucking some other guy. That's who. What kind of piece of shit justice system?
There are lawyers like that, dude. There are lawyers when you see like these lawyers where like they're just they put on this like street affectation.
They're trying to do like a cool teacher thing.
It's like they're like, what the hell is this?
And they always just come out like Sean Penn and Carlito's Way. They're fucking. I'm a gangster.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. I don't want to see my lawyer in jeans.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to like.
Yeah.
Look, I never want to wear pants again. I wore pants at Joe List sweating.
Yeah.
And I was gonna wear jeans, and my chick got so mad at me. She was like, "You're not
rightly
wearing."
So.
You know, but how many people were wearing jeans at that fucking wedding?
I don't know.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
I wear tap out board shorts at Joe's wedding. It's okay. Me and Joe are friends.
Shannon, can I grab a little more coffee, babe? Thanks.
And a water.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't really ever want to wear. But that's the thing. You don't want a lawyer that's trying to be fucking also? Cool.
Thanks.
But you know what it is? It's a sales thing too. Lawyers. When I had a friend who was arrested recently, and I can't talk about the specifics, but everybody was arrested.
Dave Smith masturbating,
and we have right. So we got we were getting him a lawyer. He was like literally in a fucking jail cell.
Right.
You know, we had to get him a lawyer. And I was like interviewing lawyers basically.
Yeah.
And there was lawyers. They're all selling, dude. It's literally a sale on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And in sales, there's a technique. You know this. You mirror and match.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have a fucking bro in front of you and you're trying to sell them, you kind of come to their level.
I got yelled at the car dealership for doing that. Like black guys would call in. They played recordings of me when black guys called, and they'd be like. They'd be like, what kind of navigators you got? I'm like, man, I got all the navigators, you know? And they'd be like, well, you can't talk to black people that way.
You want
I'm like,
Nos?
What, you want
Nos,
the
kid?
fucking money or not?
Are you kidding though? Did you actually get in trouble for that?
Yeah. They played the recording of me talking to a black
Dude,
guy.
if you could
They're
fucking get that recording, it would be the greatest thing in the world. Dude. Of
Over
course,
a decade
I know.
ago.
That's incredible.
I also
though.
left on bad terms there.
Somebody calls up and they're like, "Hey, I'm just looking at cars." Nick's like, "Where you going, motherfucker?" Nick's like, "I sold that person 4 cars."
Yeah. Thanks for calling, hood ass car dealership. And they're like,
Nah,
"Excuse
nigga, I'm
me?"
kidding.
Like,
This is
oh,
Silverstein
I'm sorry. I got
Nissan.
the wrong. I thought you lived in a different neighborhood.
And then like a Jewish guy would call, I'd be like, "Oh hi, are you coming in for a car?"
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know.
I'm really annoying.
So what were these lawyers? How are these lawyers mirroring and matching you?
Yeah, like that.
No, but you would almost, because I have like a bro-y type of fucking tone to me. My therapist did that too. My therapist, the first
But
time.
they also know that you're like a guy that's. I feel like if I was your lawyer, I'd pitch you. I'd be like, first of all, this is going to be big. Number one, news, forget it. Every night we're on. Hashtag, start getting it trending. We frame it as a libertarian thing.
Listen, no, the lawyers would do this too. They would start talking to me almost like me. My therapist did this with me. I remember that when I first talked to him, he was just like, whatever. And then we got deeper into the conversation. I remember he cursed.
Yeah.
And because I've done sales, I recognized the moment where I was like, oh, this motherfucker is.
Oh, he's lowering the class of person.
Yes, he is.
To deal with me.
So.
I see what's happening here. He's lowering himself to me. So what I'm fucking saying, Lewis, you know?
the same
Pay me
lawyer.
my fucking money that you owe me.
Yeah.
It's been a month.
The same lawyer's like, yo, Lewis, why don't you hold on for a sec? I got a call online too. Good evening, Mr. Mbuto. It is very good to do business with you today. It is a bright morning. Perhaps you will enjoy it by eating an albino.
Yes. We have improved the liquor license.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Mr. Gomez,
Yeah.
I'm a real ass dude. He just plays music beds every time he comes back on the phone with me.
That's so funny.
So, no, but that's a sales technique.
Lawyer's like, I'm disappointed it's not a rape case.
In every industry, you'll see sales, and the people that are good in whatever
You
industry
see this
they're
watch? That's a $900,000 watch. You know, I got that watch by talking to black people like I live on the bus. You drove here in a piece of shit Hyundai. That's who the fuck I am.
What's my name? Hunyonga is my name if I'm selling in the Lower East Side.
But I really do think that's, you notice it in every industry. I noticed that in the whorehouses in Reno. In the, what do they call it?
We're calling that an industry?
Yeah, it is.
In every sector of the economy, like the $3 jerks in Reno, for example, I noticed a lot of...
Yeah. The emerging markets, like getting your asshole eaten out in an adult arcade in West Virginia.
No, listen to me. They literally went through like sales structure.
Yeah.
They walked you through the beats, dude. I'm telling you, like, when you go to the whorehouses in Reno, and because it's legal, first of all, what happens is, you know, I remember at one point I would take a picture, like, and I was like very secretive about taking this picture, and the girl's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I don't know. I was like, you know, and she was like, "You just take pictures." And I remember I had to stop myself from going, like, what about your father, you animal? Like, what if he sees you? But it's legal. It's not a weird thing. All the girls have, like, profiles on the website. If you go to the Bunny Ranch's website, I mean, like, literally, they have, like...
She's like, my father, you mean the owner of this property?
Yeah.
The guy who's filming
He
us
legally
right
becomes
now?
everyone's father.
Yeah.
He has to legally adopt a woman in order to be
I
able
don't
to
know.
come
My
with her.
dad has dollar signs in his name. I don't think he gives a
But
shit.
look at the Bunny Ranch website, dude. Look at the girls. Today's lineup, and they have a fucking menu. Look at that. Oh, my God. Tiara Lee? What? Tiara Tay.
Yeah. I'm named after a hat. I'm named after a type of hat.
Yeah, she's pretty fucking hot. So, but what they do is...
I just call up. I'm like, do you have pot stickers?
Danny DeVille,
Do you have
Mercedes.
can you have a food menu?
Yeah, right.
Where is the food menu?
Do you have mozzarella sticks? I don't mean fried cheese. I mean mozzarella sticks. There's a difference.
So you go down a little more. Pantera. I met Pantera. I'll never forget her name. Click on her.
It's Pantera.
Because it's Pantera. I kept on going, God bless him hell. She's like, this guy sucks.
I call my pussy the mosh pit.
Look at that. Good for you, Pantera.
She was like, I was a nuclear engineer, but I got bored.
Yeah.
So, nobody's really hooking their way through college, are they? Like, you'll strip your way through college. Nobody's actually full-fledged.
Once you get used to that kind of money, what are you going to, even if you get a degree, what are you going to do, you know? Like, oh, I'm a chemist now, and they're like, all right, we start you at $60,000 a year. She's like, what? Like, once you get used to sucking a dick for fucking $1,000?
Look at her. Good for you, Pantera.
Yeah, what's she going to do? Go be a fucking work at Geico in customer service?
Yeah.
She's got a
Geico,
talent.
this is Pantera.
She could easily
This
be.
is Pantera.
She could
What
easily.
parkway are you on the side of right now? She just shows up and sucks their dick. Pantera, are you running a side? Are you sucking off people that've gotten accidents?
Because they got to pay for the AAA extended coverage. No, I appreciate that you're trying to help out the customers, but see, we have a policy at the store, and I don't really like disciplining people. You know, my uncle really just owns this franchise, so I don't like doing it. But if you could please stop sucking off the customers.
Yeah, see, the tow truck comes and you're fucking them in the seat, and it's like, it's awkward.
It makes the other tow truck drivers look bad.
Jen,
because
is that just on a
I
reel?
talked to Del Rey, and he's unwilling to suck customers' penises. So when they call you first, and then Del Rey, Del Rey's 47 years old.
He's got a family.
He's got a family.
He will finger people, but he's not going to put his mouth.
He's a 47-year-old black man. You have to understand, that's like being 120 as a white man.
You're kind of monopolizing business by saying you will suck everybody's dick. They just got in the accident.
When you go in, they do the actual sales process. I'm talking about like they walk you through when you do sales, Nick. Okay, you've done sales. You know, first thing you do, you engage, handshake. Hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you. Make a good first impression. Immediately smile. Fucking get them into your shit. Right. Second step. You start fucking, asking them questions, finding out what their needs are. If you're selling them a car, if you're selling them a gym membership, if you're selling them fucking insurance, if you're selling them a fucking blowjob, anal, fucking sex, you're doing the exact same thing. You're asking them questions, finding out how you can better line up their product with what their specific needs are.
Of course.
Right.
Then you go through the products like, oh my God, that's crazy that you love all that stuff because this is specifically what we offer.
Yeah.
Blowjobs and anal.
It's funny that you have no job. I have a $400,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
That's perfect for that.
Right.
It's amazing. So you don't work at all. Oh, great. Listen, you want a house?
Yeah.
You like swimming? It's got a pool. It's got a pool.
Yes, we do offer 9-chance financing, my dude. Why don't you get your ass down here to Safford Lincoln Mercury? I'm gonna hook you up with a navigator. Shit, my boss snitching on my phone calls again. Hold on, I gotta do cracker voice.
Nick is a fucking
Pantera, suck your dick in the parking lot.
A ghetto salesman.
Dude, when I was in mortgages...
Ah, shit. Whitey's riding my back again. I'll call you right back.
When I was in mortgages, nobody would rip off people like their own people.
Yeah.
Like, I would sell to white trash. Like, there was a guy named Haskell, 6-foot-tall Haitian guy, who would just bang out Haitians all day, 4 points on the deal, which means they pay 4 to 6%. Like, crazy fees he would get with his own people. It's like you go to your own people.
Yeah.
You're like, I would sit down with some fat slobs in fucking Levitt House, and they would be like, we kind of want to expand the house. And I'd be like, yeah, of course, I get it. And
Well,
then,
that's the other. When you go to the bank too, like Dave Smith used to work at Chase,
Yeah.
and he used to be a personal banker. And it's so funny now. You see the beats now. You didn't realize
What is a personal banker?
a personal banker is the fucking person who sits in the bank when they say, "Hey, do you want to go to the teller or do you want to sit down with somebody?" When you sit down with somebody, that's a personal banker. Right. That person you're sitting down with, they get commissions for every little fucking thing you give them permission to do.
Right.
So if you give them permission to, oh hey, we can just, we could.
can I touch your cock? $8. Let me ask you a question. Do you mind if I run a credit check and can I take my hand and graze your cock right
Can I smell your seat? Is that okay?
Can you take off your shoe and put your foot on my desk?
I get a commission.
Question.
If you let me smell if you let me put my tongue in between your toes, I get a $15 commission.
They're like, well, what rate of return do I get on that CD? It's like, well, can I smell your shoe?
Can you just spit in my hand? Is that okay? But that's they all, and when you start to see, when you understand that structure, you start to you feel like you're being played. You know what I'm saying? I have appreciate like a good salesman, but then the other time you're going like, I don't like fucking being played.
It's the same thing with comedy. It's like when you understand
yes.
what comedy
well,
is.
It's almost when you can't
go watch somebody and I even do it. Like I was doing a set and I you do certain things with your voice. It's like, oh, this is what you do, and it's like, blah blah blah.
Well, that was the most annoying thing. I remember one time when I was selling a car, and we had a guy came in who was like some sort of like corporate salesman. He did like a B2B guy, which means he's not really a salesman. I mean, it's a guy. The person spending the money on the other end is someone whose job it is to fucking spend money.
Right.
So
Business to business sucks.
yeah, it's just it's you. Pretending to understand spreadsheets while you talk to somebody you were in a fraternity with, 10 years
It's
prior.
also convincing some loser with a failing business. Like, no, we got the leads. You're not helming a ship of losers. We got the, we got the resources.
My shadiest
this
sales
fucking
job
asshole
ever.
comes in. He's like, I'm a computer salesman, so don't bother trying to sell me. And it's like, okay, well, I'm a car salesman, and you came to my fucking job, so I'm going to do my job.
So what do you think's gonna fucking happen here? You're gonna fucking
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave then.
I'll see you later. Have fun. Take your pick of fucking cars, fuckface.
Right, you go to CarMax.
If you go to a,
Don't try to sell me. All right, can I suck your dick?
yeah, I get commission on that too.
I got to do something.
I used to at the bank.
But when you go to a car, when you go to a gym, any of these, this is another trick as well. They'll put a sheet of paper in front of you, right? Now with that sheet of paper, it's like, so start filling out this form to you're giving them the information. You're giving them every tool to sell you, every bit of information that they need to match their product with you. But what you're doing is psychologically, if you start writing, it's something like 20% more likely that you're going to buy. They've done like the research on this.
Yeah.
So when you're the number, I don't fucking know. Somebody go look it up. But it's whatever the percentage is. If you're in the process of writing, that pen's already in your hand, then it becomes you're that much closer to just signing your name on that paper, giving them your credit card information. So that's always another fucking trick as well. They go, oh cool, just don't worry, sit down, fill this out. That's just starting the sales process in every single place you go.
Well, it's questions. If they're asking questions, you're like interested. You know?
Yeah.
Instead of,
but I kind of get excited.
I've bombed hard with sales. With I love the idea of like trying to service rich people. So I would go to like a rich area and like sit down with this couple, and like as soon as I walked in, they could tell this was like a huge mistake, and like some fat guy getting out of like an Oldsmobile '88, and I walk in, I'm literally just like out of every bad sales movie in the '80s, and I'm just like, here's what we're going to do with your whole financial situation. And they're like, oh, you got to go.
Yeah, I never did that. I sold real estate when I was like 21.
You got to sell to people like you.
I was too young though.
That's who you got to sell to. People like you.
I needed to, well, no, the idea of a good salesman is you can just sell to any, you can work with anybody.
Well, but when you're talking about classes of people, if you're selling rich people, you're rich. You're rich enough. You may not be as rich as them, but you're rich enough. If you're a cell phone salesman, you're not selling high-end real estate. You can't.
Well, I sold
because you're going to walk in and close, and they're going to be like, "This guy's not like. What is it? Who's this bum?"
Here's the deal, right? I went from selling comedy club tickets on the street, which is literally the lowest human beings in the world.
Agreed.
Like the worst fucking people in the world. Like I mean, it's hey, what's up? Hey, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
You're like, get the fuck away from me.
Somebody's like, I'm fucking a kid. You're like, all right.
Hey,
will you do my show? Will you be on our comedy show?
Oh, dude, can you be on my podcast? I'm trying to talk to somebody. No, that's where I learned a lot about sales, and I learned a lot about people by selling tickets on the street. I learned a lot about fucking chicks.
Well, when you're competing against somebody dressed like Elmo, it's a very that's guerrilla.
This is before, dude. Listen to me. The comedy club ticket salesman in Times Square, they opened it up.
That's a documentary
for
you
everybody.
should make, and I'm dead serious about that.
It's awful. It's a depressing.
Isn't there a guy that's been? Well, what about the guys?
Well, let me say this. So the Comic Club guys, I came 2001, a few days.
How about a Paris is Burning documentary about the gay guys that started dressing up as Elmo in Times Square?
But the tour bus, like I used to work on the tour buses, those guys will knife each other if one guy gets in the wrong guy's turf because they're sending all the money back to Haiti and Africa.
Here's what happened.
They're like, you're taking my family's money.
The Comedy Club ticket guys were the ones that were out there.
That money goes back to Haiti
selling,
so the family could buy knives.
They were selling tickets, okay?
Yeah.
And what they learned was like, and when I ran street teams, I mean, I had street teams of like 40, 50 guys.
I love that term, street
that
team.
were working underneath
favorite,
me, and we were selling tickets for multiple comedy clubs, and we were making money, like
those
real
people
money.
Rolling
The company got mad, but I would refer to myself as a capo regime.
So
business development.
What happened was the guys who were selling CDs. I watched it happen. There was also guys who were selling CDs, and they weren't even selling CDs. Half the time it wasn't their music. Guilt you. They would intimidate tourists.
Right.
They're like, "Yo, you like rap music?" Like, yeah, I love rap music. Like, yo, here, take this. And they take it and they'd start signing. They're like, what's your name? Like, Tim. Like, they start like, to Tim. Love fucking
Faison.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, here. And then you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. And they're like, oh, you got to pay me $10 for that. Be like, well, no, I don't want it. But Tim, I just signed your name on it, man. I can't give it to somebody else. And you'd fucking get played because you're a fucking white faggot.
Yeah.
And we would be out there selling comic book tickets, like just literally trying to get people to go to a comedy show, being fairly, genuine and just trying to make a little bit of dough. Like kids were making a few $100 a week. And then we watched those guys. They saw us doing that, and they were like, yo, all right, cool. And then they came over and they took over the whole industry. They started just printing up tickets to places that didn't exist.
Right. The worst thing ever is this British couple got on my tour bus and said, oh, we donated $60 to that man who was selling a CD. And I'm like, what? And they go, is it really true that there are 3 million hungry children in New York? And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, we gave him $60. He's running a promotion where he sells me a CD and you donate money to the millions of hungry children in New York. So I just didn't want to let her down. I'm like, no, yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's great. Also, if you give me $100, we're also going to donate.
Isn't it nice that this man is selling his CDs for the children?
So fucking.
Is it weird that the only way to help to feed the children is to put that man's penis in your mouth? There was that man that smelled like burning glass. I filleted to help the 80 million children in New Jersey with Parkinson's.
There's 4 million children getting fucked right now in New York.
And for $60, for just $80, we could stop them from being fucked.
You just have to blow that pedophile so he doesn't abuse again.
I guess it's a good system.
Yeah. So then those guys took over,
and then somebody comes up and they're like, that poor English woman, she gave their $60 away. They're like, ma'am, you got hustled. Like, here's $20. Like, I feel bad for you. And then that fucking British lady walks away. She's like, dumbass motherfucker.
She pulls her mask off, like Game of Thrones, the changing
black
face.
lady. Time to go buy a
I've been doing my my British lady got scam again.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up shortly. Let's get some questions, Shannon. This has been a fun one.
Give me a fucking answer. 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 I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question.
All right, you know what's up, man. Real Ass Questions. We always end the show with a few questions from the fans, answering them as honestly as possible. So, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
I'm just laughing so hard at Nick answering the phone like, I got all in that. There's nothing funnier than that. Yeah. A Lincoln.
So here's how you join the conversation, guys. Facebook.com/Louis J. Gomez Comedy. You can ask your questions there. Oh, shit, did my phone fucking die? No Instagram questions today. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
You shouldn't plug this in. I mean, this plugged in anyway. We got a lot of Facebook questions anyway.
We didn't touch Ronda Rousey gets married to Travis Brown.
Who's Travis Brown?
It's a MMA fighter that's not as successful as her.
Yeah, but Ronda Rousey's kind of done, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's going to go to the WWE and become a huge star now.
She is a terrible actress.
Yeah, bad actress. Also not that hot. Like, hot for, like, a dykey chick. It's like like best in show when it comes to, like, MMA fighters.
I don't know.
She's a manager at Cheesecake Factory hot.
She has the charisma of a doorknob.
Yeah.
I mean, watching her in that, whatever, Fast and Furious 7 or 6, whichever one she was in, and she has one line and she
and it's still
flubs
bad.
it. Yeah,
it's the worst.
The one word comes out of her mouth. It's like, hey, but she delivers it like, she's never heard the word before in her life. I forget what it was, but yeah, so she sucks. Travis Brown, I'm in his corner.
All right. Well, let's get some questions going. Here we go.
Oh, you got him. Okay.
We got him. We did it. Fucking Ronda Rousey. You got it.
Rousey.
Here we go. Leon Glendinning wants to know:
is it true that there are 3 million children with AIDS?
In a fight, Cumtown versus Legion of Skanks, what weapons do you think each members would choose and why?
Oh, interesting.
I can have any weapon I want?
Yeah.
Or it's something I already have access to? Because I'd probably use the Sawzall, to be honest with you.
What's a Sawzall?
Sawzall is a power tool. You can put a 12-inch blade on the front of it and... it'll fuck you up. It'll cut through bone.
Doggy. If we could just choose anything we want?
Yeah, gun.
Yeah.
I would choose a pack of cigarettes so that now we take Jay out of the equation because he just quit. So I'd be like, there you go.
There we go.
Some have access to Sawzall, any option I want, in M16.
Wow. What do you do?
So, I mean, M16 is it's a badass gun right there.
Yeah. Burst fire.
We go
Put
with
3 shots directly in your sternum.
AR-15, because I've shot it before. It's easy. It's not a lot of kickback.
That's the civilian version of an M16.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm a civilian.
It's chambered in a
I'm not a
smaller...
fucking monster like you. To be honest with you, you're sitting there with this fucking saw. Can you pull up a Sawzall? I want to see what it looks like.
Lewis is like, and a rape room. Just
okay. So here we go. Like that. You got this thing in one hand going, and then you got the gun in the other hand.
Yeah.
You don't have a...
Actually, you know what, Shannon? Can you type in Sawzall accident? Ooh. Because that'll give us a better idea of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, look, I'm sure that it's brutal, dude. But I will fucking I'll put a bullet in between your fucking eyebrows with an AR-15. So.
Yeah, I also have an AR-15.
No, you don't. You have a
M16. It's the same gun.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know anything about guns.
Now,
I don't know.
What about Cumtown and Legion's Gangs team up versus guys we fucked?
Yeah. Oh, Dick. Dick is the weapon.
Yeah.
Just smacking the
unwanted dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Fists and forearms.
Where is the Sawzall accident?
Is there any Sawzall accidents?
Shannon's had a Sawzall accident.
Shannon's fingering herself to Sawzall accidents. Let's see. Oh, look at this bitch. Good.
Yeah. So
she's like, I went to a haunted house.
That woman was 110 pounds before the Sawzall.
Yeah. She went to a haunted house and they cut her leg off with a Sawzall.
I don't want to see a fucking cartoon. Ooh.
Look away now. That includes you, Andy.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, my Christ.
Sit on top there, is it?
Look the other way, sir.
Oh, God, no. Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude,
Andy
they're
is off
fucking
to
brutal.
See, that's the difference when you have a country with national health insurance.
Yeah.
Everything's a joke. He's got no fingers.
Oh, Nick, me pointer.
I got no fingers.
Thank God my healthcare is free because they lost all my money giving it away to black kids in my trip to New York.
Because there's 4 million of them getting fucked right now.
I spent $800 in one day. There's one black kid that said that he's got 12 brothers. They're all 3 years old and they're all been fucked. They're all been snogged by criminals.
And then he cut me finger off in his haunted house. Thank God I got me money.
All right, let's see. Here we got another one here. Tyler Ferris says, I've noticed that a lot of comedians lose their edge, quote unquote, as they get older. Is this something that you're afraid of happening to you?
Everybody loses their edge. There's literally, name one thing that people don't get shittier at as they get older.
Great point.
I'm going to stay fucking awesome like Ozzy Osbourne.
He didn't stay awesome.
Awesome,
he turned
dude.
into a fucking burned out reality
He's just
star.
80 and all fucked up. He doesn't know
Well,
what's going
Tyler,
on.
unless I turn my life around, there is no older.
Yeah.
So
How about
the good
this?
news is
Tyler,
comics don't really live past 60.
Yeah,
Are there any comics?
Tyler, you're gonna lose your edge as an account manager. I'd rather lose my edge as a comic.
No, dude,
than
listen to me. You fucking Ozzy Osbourne doesn't know what the fuck's going on. That's actually good, dude. I'd rather be crazy and old and fucking whacked out on drugs and pills.
Yeah.
And just not know the
Norm Macdonald's like the only person that stayed like sharp and relevant and like
Nobody's old. Nobody gets that old. That's the thing. It's like Rivers and George Burns, but like the crop of comics that we have now, like a lot of
Chris
them
Rock
died.
is getting up there now. How old is
he's
Chris
like
Rock?
40-something.
No,
50?
he's got to be 50 at least.
50 maybe.
He looks great.
I think a lot of it too is like because people get older, they get sort of like reactionary, which is just a transition that happens to people. So like it clouds their judgment, and then their takes are shittier.
I don't know.
They
Nick
don't.
Apollo's pretty progressive.
Yeah.
These gooks.
Yeah, I think the older you
Watch
get,
him almost beat up his wife at Joel's wedding.
That's hilarious.
Dude, it was so, dude, he literally got
great.
into a full-fledged argument with his wife at Joel's wedding. It was
He just starts
great.
punching her.
Dude, it was just like Nick DiPaolo.
Really?
And it was just like very funny because it was like it just never ends, dude. It's like in my mind I'm going like you'll just become, you'll hit a certain level of success. You'll relationship. You're married, however long it is. And then it's like you would figure it would never divulge into, or what is that's not the right word, right? Devolve into like a fucking real argument at a wedding in front of people.
Yeah.
But it always does.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. So no, I don't think with your age you kind of lose your edge. I think you fucking things become important to you. I did stupider shit because I didn't have any chips on the table when I was younger. If you don't have a fucking
if you don't have to worry about losing Meatbox as a sponsor,
Yeah.
you can say whatever you
things
want.
you can do.
Yeah.
It really is true. So
well, I guess I don't know. Do you mean edge as in like doing edgy comedy, or do you mean edge as in like the critical thinking skills necessary to write good jokes?
No, I think he means edgy comedy. I don't think he means like the critical thinking skills, and I think you kind of wouldn't you get sharper as you got older?
No, it's.
I know there's like a year. There's like a time when you're sharpest where you could learn languages. It's a certain years. And
No,
you could
I mean,
learn math.
cognitively speaking, there has to be some sort of reverse engineering or like logical process in your head to make a joke. Like the way jokes work is to take something, you look at it, and then you look at it in a way where you're processing the logic of that event or
like
thing.
Robert Klein just has dementia. So
Yeah.
You see him on the stage at Caroline, he's like, Clinton, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bush, Trump. And it's like, well, he's just literally having a breakdown.
No, like mathematicians, like after age 28, mathematicians are like done.
Really?
If they haven't had like some kind of breakthrough by then or some big thing, it's just not going to happen for them, usually.
That's interesting.
Because your brain...
But, let me say that I do think it's... There has to be something to this as well, because I'm definitely a better joke writer today than I was 10 years ago.
Well, you've learned.
Without a doubt. I've learned.
Yeah, but you have better sensibilities. But here's what you're not.
I also understand my process more. I understand.
But you're more tired. You're older.
Yeah, you're
Your
older.
hormones are different.
You're probably not as sharp as you were. Because I guarantee you, off the cuff, I was much better 6 years ago than I am now. I'm a better comic than I am.
I was funnier as a human being when I was younger, but I'm not. Sharper's not the thing. I was just funnier because I was like, I didn't have anything that was important to me. You just didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You would almost let go. You would take more chances. It was literally, look, we take chances now as comics, and that's where great comedy comes from. But when you have literally, there's no bombing, quote unquote, is nothing. It doesn't matter. It's just you're bombing for your friends. Who gives a fuck? We're smoking weed. We're being stupid with each other.
Yeah.
When there's no fucking stakes at all. You just take whatever, and I was the funniest kid in the fucking world. When I was a kid, I was the funny. You didn't know anybody funnier than me. I'm telling you right now. Like out of our group of kids, but it was like, it
what
wasn't
was your bit? You have like a go-to bit?
I mean, I would throw
throw
myself on the floor. I was
take my mom's orange juice, I'd pass it around. Everybody would fall down. It was hilarious. I'd write my name. It was funny. As everyone thought he was kidding, he's like, my mom's dead. It was like, the Lewis.
Well, I like that the bit he threw out is, I would fall down.
I would throw myself on the floor. He's like, I was the funniest.
That sounds very sharp. No wonder you're a better comedian now.
That was hilarious.
Your big bit was being a spastic retard.
I would fuck a couch in front of everyone. They thought that was hilarious.
I thought I was on Jackass. That was my big bit, is setting my hand on fire.
I was very physical. It was physical comedy.
Yeah.
I would jerk off in a park.
No, I mean, like when I was 21, if I had to like sit around and come up with puns or jokes or one-liners for a topic, I could just rattle.
Were you doing stand-up back then?
I started doing stand-up when I was 16.
That's why, though. I wasn't doing stand-up. I was a kid. I didn't start doing stand-up until I was like 24.
Yeah.
So I was doing when I was like in high school. I was just being stupid.
I was 25. That's the same thing.
But like, I talked about this on the podcast the other day. Like I would walk up to the table of like girls in the lunchroom. Listen, I would walk up to the table of girls in the lunchroom, and my dick would be half hard, and I'd make it bounce to like music. And they'd laugh.
I wonder what it would be like to be in comedy with an 18-year-old's energy. And you know what I mean? Like, I was never that. I got in at like 25, you got in at 24. And yes, we had a worldview and perspective more than younger kids.
But worldview and perspective is kind of worthless.
In this, yes.
In comedy, it doesn't mean
sadly,
shit.
It doesn't mean much.
Comedy is a very...
Yeah, but it makes you excited to do stand-up. I'm more excited to do stand-up now that I'm talking about shit that I want to than a few years ago when I was trying to do...
Because I used to talk about shit that I wanted to when I was younger. And maybe it's just because I've been doing comedy for, a decent chunk of time now. But, like, the idea of going on stage and sharing my perspective makes me want to fucking throw up.
But if you don't have, if you don't have an interesting, like if you didn't lead an interesting life, or it's kind of like
the way I feel about things is I feel, and this is so self-aggrandizing, but it's a little bit too nuanced for me to go on stage and relate to people.
But that's
I think
jokes. That's 100%. But I think that's the job, like to an extent.
But they're supposed to relate to you.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I'll give you that. That is my job as a comic, to figure out a way to explain.
Yeah, and it's also to figure out how. Like, look, Tim brought up my joke about being a pedophile before.
Yeah.
nobody's relating to that.
Right.
But what they do is the absurdity of it and the fact that I'm saying it and the fact that they don't really hear that is making them laugh, and it makes them feel weird that they're laughing at it, and it's a different type of thing. So no, that's not an important topic to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not something like, oh my God. But for me, that's more exciting than going, oh, I really want to work out this clean set for Conan.
There are comics who think James Corden and the Tonight Show, that those guys think that's funny.
That's so
and
funny.
They want to write those jokes and be in those writers' and like. To me, that was never, and I'm not saying those guys are wrong, but that's not my sense of humor. So I can't write for Drop the Mic.
Yeah.
The James Corden show.
No.
I can't do it. So
I
to
tried,
me,
dude.
Yeah,
that was a fucking hard packet.
It's hard.
There was, did you get that packet to
No.
Drop the Mic? Thing?
I don't
They're
do
like,
packets.
Yeah, they're like, just come up with like, and it was like, so doing 2 days, come up with 7 full-length parody songs. You know, I'm like,
We need you to
I
write
can't do
3
that.
feature-length movies.
Yeah, right.
One action,
That
one
would
comedy.
probably be easier.
A lot of the guys who
I
do
don't
that
know how
are
to
like
fucking
Harvard
rap.
guys who are like, they go
Workhorses.
from the Lampoon, and they're just, this is their move is to do that stuff.
Well, it's also, that's not exciting to me. I watch, my chick just submitted a writing pack, and she worked so hard on it, and she's going through all the steps. And in my mind, I'm going, that is a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
That's not why I got into comedy.
Right.
That seems worse than a day job. I would rather sell gym memberships than be in a fucking being in a writing room, being a cog in somebody else's wheel, and just creatively writing funny stuff and then giving it away and going, all right, I have no connection to that anymore. That is
your connection to it is the $6,000 a week they pay you to.
Yeah, but I'm going to make that much money building a fan base. I'm going to make that much money.
Not everybody's a writer. Nobody wants to see Sebastian Maniscalco in a writer's room. Some people are stand-ups. Some people are writers.
It's like, I got an idea.
No, but here's the deal. It's like, listen, it's fucking.
Let me get my pen.
It's a stupid conversation because it's like in music. It's like going to like fucking.
Sebastian, you just turned in drawings of you gesturing.
You just threw coffee at the wall. He's like, that's the sketch.
Yeah, how do you spell squint loudly?
Yeah, I don't understand. This sketch doesn't have any Italian people in it. So it's just everybody.
Just look at me. Do this with your mouth.
Yeah.
Is there a font for Italian American?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. I think there's all kinds of different people. You just got to do what you fucking, and you got to get better at things you're not good at. So everybody's got to get better at.
Sebastian, are you drawing all of your letters with mini sausages?
Right.
I don't know, man. I appreciate like writing more. The thing is, a lot of comedy writing is bullshit. I mean, you're not like, but I guess the things that I respect, which isn't even really comedy writing, but I look at TV writers, like people that work on like hour-long dramas, and I think that's like so impressive and cool.
Yeah.
The ability to break stories and like, have
I
everything
like storytelling.
work out.
I don't.
There's
really
a craftsmanship there that
Dude,
I respect a lot.
I like
more
writing
than,
scripts. I do it, but I want to do it for myself. What really gets me exciting when like me and a buddy are working on a script, and we sit down for a couple months and we come up with a concept, we come up with a pitch. That's really exciting to me, but it's because it's mine. I have a difficult time sitting down and going like, it bums me out. People ask me for help with like roast battle jokes.
Yeah.
And then I write a good joke and I'm like, fuck, dude, that's pissing me off that I just wrote a good joke that I'm not reaping the benefits of.
Kind of
I don't give a shit about that at all. All I care about is like doing the work, and then I've done it. Like if I would prefer to just write roast battle jokes for other people than actually do roast.
I write better for other people than I do for myself.
I think it's all about what
you're not
excites
vulnerability.
You. It's all about like
you just get to be a fucking monster.
Yeah.
You're not also thinking like, oh, is this funny in your head? Like, is this going to play for the audience? Like, you're just going, here's a fucking idea, and then you read it, and somebody else reads it for what it is, and they go, that's just hysterical. But we got to wrap this one up. I apologize, guys, because people are waiting for the studio right now. Thank you.
Fuck them.
Fuck Gas Digital. How about that, guys? Just take over. Kick Ralph out of his own apartment.
Just kill Ralph.
Listen, guys, you guys are the shit. Thank you for listening to the show, the live show. We're here every Monday and Wednesday, so make sure you guys check us live at the Gas Digital Network, gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code RAP. If you guys want to sign up for a membership, you get a free trial. You save $1. Great show today. Thank you so much. Nick Mullen, Tim Dillon, Shannon, Realize Podcast. We're out. Peace.
That's all, folks.